Hello, hello, hello. We should be live. Let's check. It's always good to check. And I should eventually, maybe I want to start live streaming on Twitter or X. That's what they call it now, right? The boss move, if I've ever seen. Just change the name of your company. Cool. Why not? You can do that. Took me a while to come up with the name for my business. I think I toiled on it for like a week or two, trying to come up with the right name for it, but I'm not sure why the quality isn't like it says 1080, but I don't know. It's looking muddy here. StreamYard might not be the business, or maybe something I'm doing, or maybe because I'm going through their interface instead of using a stream key. Who knows? Whatever. Maybe we'll zoom out a little bit. But how's everyone doing? Welcome to Table Moments Live. I'm your host and captain, Ayman. This is the Homies podcast. We talk about anything and everything, but no politics. And this week's episode of the live, we have topics that I posted this week. You might have seen it on the YouTube channel. You might not have. If they're over a minute, they don't get posted to YouTube. I'm trying to monetize this podcast right now, and I've gotten access to TikTok's creativity beta and made $120 so far. I mean, took a lot of views to get there, but I don't know. The views per milli or the dollars per milli just isn't there. I mean, I'm getting like $2, so I'm not getting a lot of views. I don't know what's going on. It's like I have this like love-hate relationship with TikTok. Sometimes I'm doing really well. Other times it's dead, and I don't know. I think I have to elevate the content, so I've been using a nicer camera to record a nicer video. I think I have to get into scripting now, which whatever sucks, but because I like being able to speak freely off the top of my head. I feel like it's more genuine. Even these live streams, I don't plan it so much. I just write an outline of the things that I posted for that week. And then those are references that I could look to if I'm struggling to come up with things to talk about. But otherwise, no, this is all just straight off the dome. And it took me a while to get, and I still don't think I'm that good at it, but I think I am much better than when I first started about a year ago, actually. Coming up on a year. I'm going to have to check the metrics. I think I'm coming up on a year of live streaming once a week for a year. That's just 52 times. That's it. That's all it takes. And then you get pretty comfortable with it. And then if you're using a platform like TikTok, then people are pushed to you. So you don't even have to worry about like attracting people. In that case, you just have to worry about keeping attention, which isn't as hard as actually just being able to speak and then get someone to like fuck with the thing that you're doing right now who don't even know you. And so like a lot of this journey was, if you want to get into streaming, is like getting people to fuck with you. Now there are shortcuts if you want to get some clout and success pretty early and quickly on social media. Get clout from other people. That's the easiest way by far. When people say it's not what you know, it's who you know, fucking facts. That's even true in content creation. Crazy. Like a lot of the people that you're like, oh man, you blew up out of nowhere. It's like, no, they probably had someone in their life or they probably had a relationship with somebody at some point, whether business, friends, or even more, which happens on Twitch, by the way. Like the whole Gamergate thing, I think was sort of a foray into that. But yes, the easiest way to get clout is to have someone else give it to you. It's the easiest way. I'm doing something experimental here where I'm trying to build the clout from the ground up. And the only things I have as tools are the algorithms. That's it. And I'm going off the backs of literally just grassroots shit. Okay. Most people don't do grassroots shit. Or if they ever do, they've been in the game for decades or like multiple years, like half a decade up to a decade. Like Mr. Beast talks about 10 years. Yeah, because you're starting from the fucking bottom, dude, and you don't have anyone who can give you clout. The reason why you see all these podcasters who go on all these other shows, podcasters, it's all clout farming. It's like, hey, your audience might be the same type of audience that's my audience, so how about we share and we both grow together? That's what's actually happening, you know. And in some cases, they've monetized just the attention from that, and so they charge each other to come on each other's podcasts or whatever, unless they're friends, whatever. There's all this behind the scenes shit, guys. It's crazy. This whole thing is fucking rigged, man. And so if you're like somebody who has no connections, who doesn't know content creation, who doesn't know anybody in the game, you've never done this before, you're not comfortable in front of the camera, you don't know how to edit a video, you don't know how to speak off the top of your head, you don't know how to be entertaining. Like, yes, it's going to be a fucking grind. It's going to be a fucking grind. And that's the story I think Mr. Beast just completely misses. Like, if you knew what I knew, you could easily get. It's like, yeah, but you know what you know because you went through the fucking grind. And you can't just tell somebody like, hey, here's how to edit a video. Just cut out, take everything out, be ruthless with your edits. Like anything that hurts your retention, fucking cut it out. Like any dead points, cut it out. Have other people watch your stuff and cut it out. It's like, no, but editing is judgment. Editing is judgment. I actually posted a video about this topic on my business page where I talk about like this whole journey of making content and trying to figure out better and easier ways to do it, including the use of software that I build for myself and possibly for other people if they're interested in it becoming a thing that they want to use. And I explain like, yo, that's what editing is. Editing is judgment. And he has the judgment along with all the people who he's worked with. They have the judgment to be able to decide that this is too short or this is way too long. Here's the part that's missing. Here's the part where you lose people, all that. And so it's just like, yes, it is a lot of skill, but then there is also an element of luck. There is also an element of luck where, yes, the algorithm sometimes it's here's the thing. What he says replace the word algorithm with people. It's not what the algorithm wants, it's what people want. It's like, okay, but like people have unique desires. Segments and populations and niches of people have specific desires that are different from the masses. Now, the easiest way to grow, again, not only just getting clout from other people, but also appealing to the broadest number of people out there, the general population, which means you're probably going to have to talk about some basic shit. If there's anything unique about you, interesting, you have this weird eclectic taste that you're you like this weird thing that only a small segment of the population are into, guess what? It's going to be fucking grind because the algorithms are not going to work in your favor. Because look, the way at least I've heard these things described is it tests your content with a small population. On TikTok, it happens to be around 200 and see how many people interact, how many people watch it through, how many people are interested in that stuff. And then from there, if it has success, then it moves it to a larger group, then a larger group, and then a larger group. So the question is, what's the likelihood that those initial 200 or even after that are people who actually enjoy the thing that you're making? Because you could have the editing on point, you could have the topic on point, but if the topic that you're covering shared with this group of 200 people just happen to be something they're not interested in, which if you're doing anything interesting, just realize the general population probably doesn't see it as interesting as you do, then it will fail. It'll get stuck there. So that's the thing. It's just like, in order to have success as quickly as possible means making your stuff for the general population. And I think that's the thing Mr. Beast, I think, completely misses. I have some pretty contrarian takes on content creation. And honestly, any ideas I give, I don't think anyone would take seriously until I get to a point where I have a sizable audience. TikTok, 57,000, it's TikTok though. So it doesn't really mean much. Once I crack the YouTube code, then I can start talking my big shit and people will have to take me seriously because I will have done it. But then I can probably have some more nuance or something as I explain it. But I'm just learning it and then explaining it as I see it and making adjustments as I go along, which is pretty much how I try to explain and teach the things I do and even figure things out in life. It's all just trying things. Then if it doesn't work, see where you possibly could have gone wrong. What assumptions did you get wrong? And then try again and see if maybe your assumptions are correct this time. This is how this is basically my strategy for academic success. That's literally what I did when I struggled with like a topic, a subject, a field of study. And through high school and college, this is what I would do, especially math. Like You have all these problems in the book. Just practice, try it out, see if you understand it, try to solve the problem, and then you check in the back of the book, oh, the answer's wrong. All right, so there's something wrong in my thinking. Assuming the answer in the back of the book is correct, which it should be, then there's got to be something wrong in my thinking. So let me refine that. It's like, then I go through some example problems. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I should have done it this way and account for this little thing. It's like, okay, then you try it again. And then it's like, okay, I got this one. And then you do another problem. You're like, okay, this one's a little different from the example. Let me try it. Let me try it with this. It's like, oh, it didn't work. It's like, what did I get wrong this time? And then that's all it is, a bunch of trial and error. Now, there are people who say, just learn from other people's mistakes, but like, do you really learn? I don't know. Like, people can be very prescriptive about that advice they're giving. It's like, all right, do this, don't do this, don't do this, but you're not going to really understand it unless you've been in it first. So I think one strategy for learning something new is learn the basics as quick as possible, but don't be too worried about being competent, because just go and learn, because it's so easy, especially for if you're anything like me, it's so easy to overthink things. And you might think you have to learn so much before you can even get started. And so that's usually used as a crutch to not actually work on the thing. It's a procrastination excuse. So my rule now has been just go get it done, go start, and you're going to run into a bunch of problems, and that's okay. And then when you do run into those problems, that's when you learn. It's like, okay, this is how you do this. Cool. Now I can Google it and I know exactly what I'm trying to do. And then I can actually make that happen. So try that out as a way to learn. But yes, I don't know. This, obviously, I'm going on my diatribe about content creation just because the shit I'm going through right now. I'm trying to figure things out, but this is it. And of course, because if you're on YouTube, Twitch, I like to go early on this one. So I haven't joined TikTok yet, but people watch the replay. If you watch the replay, leave a comment down there. Just say, put a number. Put your favorite number in the comments. I'm like, why are people watching the replay? Because like it's hours of content, and I don't know. I don't have any of the major things that most people would be interested in. It's just a list of random things, topics that I've listed out as an outline, and then just going off in all these different directions wherever my mind takes me without any thought or organization. So if you actually enjoy the lives, or even if you just watch it, just put a comment in there in the comment section, just because I'm having a hard time believing these view counts are real. I am. And but it's okay. Cool. Which cool. Let me just double check this. Cool. All right, everything's working. I think I'm going to join on TikTok. You guys get it early because the video's better here. I don't know. Maybe I could let me try something different here. I could put something on screen here. Say hi if you're new. Say hi, yeah. You've been here before. Like and sub. We're gonna do that. Even say, you guys know what I'm trying to say. Say hi. Can I do that? Say hi if you're new. Say hi if you've been here before. Like and sub. Yes, I know. I know. I'm kind of making myself cringe right now with this one, but whatever. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Man, that is some soft ass shit. I hate it when people do this. It's like, no, you know what I've noticed? Like, I don't tell people, even on TikTok, I don't tell people to like follow the account for more, blah, 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 whatever. I'm just like, if the shit's good enough and useful enough, you'll follow on your own. I know people like call to action, and I get it. If you're selling something, cool, do that. But like, if it's content, one way to measure the quality of your content and the usefulness that you're bringing, or at least the entertainment value you're bringing into someone's life, is to see the interactions that people do unprompted. What will they do without you asking? Will they leave a comment? Will they like it? Will they share it with somebody else? Will they subscribe, follow your accounts? It's like, I don't tell people. I've never told people to do that, and this is the first time. That's why I think it's funny, just telling you guys to do that. But I mean, yeah. And so it's like, it's so tempting to get rid of the natural measurement system that comes with like doing it the harder way. And I've been careful about, like, I'm not going to tell people. And here's the thing with the podcast, I do have to tell people to listen, because otherwise people will not listen to the podcast. But let me see if I put it here. Is this in the way? Whatever, it's fine. I got to figure out this lighting setup. Right now it's being blocked by that phone. Is that better? No, I should have just left it, because now the consistency and the whatever. It's fine. Let's do this. TikTok. I know you guys don't like TikTok, especially you Twitch guys. I wonder if I'm going to see some of you old guys back. But I'm back on TikTok after being banned. I got banned for trolling a chick. And it wasn't even like a bad trolling. I was teasing her. That's the thing. The algorithms can't tell the difference between teasing and troll and what do they call it? Hate speech, hurtful behavior, whatever. Man, my skin is shiny, but it's okay. Whatever. Too late. I started. And let's go live. Wait, let's see. Wait, should I get it to look? Maybe, yes, if I move it out of there. I know. I should get this more organized, but it's been a week. And then maybe I'll put the glasses on. Maybe the glasses mean Twitch time or TikTok time. It means TikTok time. And we'll go like that. Hey guys, how's it going? How's everyone doing? This is going to attract people, but people are going to ask, like, what's up with your glasses? Why do you only have one polarizer? Why not two? People are going to ask that. I bet you. People always ask about the microphone too, because they think it's like some diabetic kind of device or whatever, but it's not. It's just a microphone. See if we can adjust this here. Bring it closer. Cool. That's better. Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm back. I'm out of purgatory. I'm back. I got banned I was banned last week or the week before for teasing somebody on live. That's crazy, isn't it? And she ended up following the account too. So I'm just like, man, it's crazy. This is the world we live in, man. TikTok live. It is what it is. Hey everyone, how's it going? Got some topics prepared for this week. I'm fresh out the ban. I feel like I was in solitary for a bit. No, I shouldn't make light of that. This man done turned into a bad boy. No, this light is bright, man. Yeah. There's a guy on TikTok. What's his name? The Merc, I think. He talks about like African issues and stuff, and he wears glasses like this. I was just like, yeah, that guy. I think he's doing really well on YouTube right now. Check that guy out if you want to know what's actually going on in Africa and all the drama there. But welcome everyone to Table Moments Live. I'm your host and captain, Ayman, where we talk about anything and everything, but no politics. But of course, on the lives, you guys are very political, so sometimes I have to let it slide a little bit. Give the people what they want. I don't think you were on that live, but it was some girl joined, some Habesha girl. And yeah, I don't know if you remember Kirka, but he shows up to the live every now and then, and I think he was filling her. And so I was like, yo, before we got to see if you're good enough for our boy here. And so I was just teasing her about that. And then the live was like, the algorithm was like, oh no, you're teasing, that's harassment or something like that. I was like, what the fuck? She ended up following the account. She was enjoying the interaction. When you're being entertaining, this is oh man, it was good riz, by the way. I was trying to put my boy up here, and we'll see if he slid in. Dude, it's crazy, man. It's crazy, but whatever. It's cool. I'm back. But that's cool. And so maybe, I don't know. I do not want this to become a dating thing. I don't want to. Although, no. Let's not. I'm not trying to be Kevin Samuels here, even though I got the glasses and everything now. How you been though? Are you back in the States or still on vacation? I was wondering. Yeah. Hey DB, how's it going? For Angel, I wonder if a matchmaker live would be turned. No, here's the thing. I'm seeing this girl who's doing it for like Muslim people. I think she's in London or something, but she does this like matchmaking dating thing. I'm like, one, it's a lazy way to make content, okay? Because you're relying on other people as your entertainment. Two, she's not even good at it. All she does is just invite people on live and just like, so tell me about yourself. Or what's the British accent? So I don't know, I can't do it. But basically, she's just trying to do this matchmaking in this lazy ass way. I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong? And then guys are going on there and she's just like grilling them. I'm like, it doesn't make the guys look good. And and then I guess the idea is like if you're feeling the guy, just go into his DMs, which I don't know. At least a few times I've been on her, I see it. I don't spend time there, but the last one I saw, I was like, there's no way any girl will slide in any DM, which is a big flaw in that dating show. It's like, how would it work? No girl ever slides in DMs unless she's really thirsty. Okay, girls are definitely afraid of rejection, so I don't see the point. So if I was gonna do a live dating show, I would do something different. I would one, I would do what I did for Kirko. I'd play him up. So he was like software developer. He's or at least he's going to be surfer dude, whatever. I'm like, all right, lady, like, are you good enough for my boy here? And so basically, it's just qualifying girls. Basically, like maybe Flavor of Love kind of style, where she's earning, that kind of thing. I think that'd be cool. The move for men in 2023 is to stay single. Why is that, Hot Wheels? You're not trying to get a little, you're not trying to get some play out here? Oh, yeah. Back in New Orleans. Okay. I'd be devastated if my head reflects with the sun. I'm just playing. I'm not sure what that means, but okay. Keishan. Yeah. Keishan. Sean. I remember in elementary school, there was a kid next to me. I just started public school, and his name was Sean, spelled that way, Sean. And he's telling me like, I was like, so introducing myself. I was like, oh, so hey, my name is Ayman. How's it going, Scene? He's like, no, my name's not Scene. It's Sean. I'm like, no, it's Scene. He's like, no, it's Sean. I was like, this is Sean. That's how you pronounce that, but whatever. Are you living on Earth? Do you have eyes, Captain Oblivious? What? The move for men in 2023 is to stay single. You really think that's true? No, you just got to figure out these girls. You just got to figure out the girls. Yes, they suck at communication, but whatever, you can figure it out. Like, yes, you can figure out. And yeah, I know they're not logical. They're not straight up. They're not. There's a lot of subtext in their communication style, which is, I think, the problem for a lot of straightforward and honest and logical men. Once you understand, it's like, oh, pay attention to what she's not saying, pay attention to how she behaves, then they're easy to figure out. They're really easy. Like, once you understand how they are, it's like you don't really got to trip about them. And then they're actually a lot of fun in a lot of contexts, actually. See, this is the thing. I could easily tell you fellas like, fuck, all this bullshit, dating, blah, 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 whatever. But nah, like, in the end, it's probably not going to be, because eventually you're going to want to settle down, whatever, or you're going to want to spend some time. Like, hanging out with the boys is cool, but like hanging out with the girl, in a lot of contexts, is actually a lot of fun. They improve your life in a lot of ways that you wouldn't expect. They do cost more because they do, but yeah, I wouldn't say go without ladies. Like, are you, I don't know, Hot Wheels isn't here, but I don't expect, wait, are you here? Yeah, you're here. Okay. Like, are you one of those like going your own way type people? I don't, because it's like it seems pretty lonely, man. But I guess it's already a lonely existence if you don't have a girl. It's just, I guess maybe it's worse if you've had her in your life and then you can't figure her out. Yeah. I think this is like, dude, a medium can communicate with the dead, right? Imagine what a large can. Okay. Bro is 10 steps behind or 100 steps forward. And I've been through this shit too. So, but if you have any questions, like, feel free to ask them. Or if you have any advice for other people, feel free. Like, I guess I could be wrong, but I'm not. But I guess I could be, but I'm not. So it's okay. What's up? Hey, man. Sauce Boy Ray J. How's it going, man? I'm on TikTok live right now. I usually do a cross thing where I do both, but I got banned last week, so that's why I'm here. How you doing, by the way? Check the statistics on male loneliness in America. Do your research because you are missing out on major facts. No, I know men are lonely. Like that's a. I think everybody knows, or at least some people are willing to admit that that's true. But I'm just saying, like, you don't have to be if you're willing to put in some work. Unfortunately, it's not something that you can just remedy. Like things, it's not something that's just going to fix itself. But here's the thing: a lot of women are lonely too. Like they just pretend like they're not, and that's the difference. And when you have conversations with enough of them, it's just like, oh wow, you're just fronting this whole time. I even posted a video this week where I was talking about like feminism and feminists, how like some of the things that they say, like they're not quite, well, they are honest about their feelings, but it's just their actions don't really match what they're preaching. And I've noticed this from experience. And so people are like, oh no, I would never date a feminist, whatever, they sound crazy, blah blah. It's like they're just talking, man. That's all they're doing. They're just talking. And then when you're actually involved with them, it's like, oh, you like the things, most feminine women like: safety, security, and a man who's stable so that their neuroticism doesn't take over their heads. And just like, when you have those conversations, it's just like, oh, okay, I got it. So this is just fronting for other women. And you start breaking it down and you realize like a lot of the things women project out here are just fear. They do it because of other women. They don't want other women to judge them in some negative way, or at least some perceived way. And so they say all this stuff. But in reality, when they're just when they're actually like in a relationship with you and you're not judging them on the things that they say, guess what? They believe in things that aren't consistent with their stuff, with their feminism, whatever. I was just stopping by through, gotta catch a flight. All right, safe flight, man. Safe flight. Yeah, appreciate you stopping by. Okay, let's see. Most white women these days are actively pursuing black men because they feel they are doing charity. But you didn't realize that, huh? Charity. I don't know if it's charity. I think it's like there's a certain type of white girl who likes black guys. There's a certain type, like the general black guy. Obviously, if like you're model type black guy, or you have some clout, or some or you're famous in some way, or you have some money, then yeah, like white girls who normally wouldn't date black guys would then date that black guy. But like there is also a type of white girl who does date black guys. And you can tell whenever there's a picture of her with doing some charity in maybe some African country, or with a picture with like a bunch of black kids or whatever in some like charity scenario or something like that. It's just like, ooh, she's comfortable with black skin. And it's a pattern I've noticed. It's a pattern I've noticed. John Bones. I don't know who that is. What about Black Lives Matter? Think about it. Ever heard of Black Lives Matter? You think that's what it is? Charity? Look at the propaganda going on. There's definitely a lot of propaganda. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna disagree with you. You mean African American? No, I mean black. I mean black. What's good with the Hot Wheels homies mad? No, I think we would actually agree on like 90% of things. I think it's my opening statement about saying, we don't have to be cut off women in 2023. We just have to take control of our lives. That's all it takes, guys. That's all it takes. Like, you live life on your terms. She either fucks with it or she doesn't. If she does, that is a mic, Myra. That is a mic. But if she fucks with your life and the direction you're going in, and yeah, she's a pretty great partner. Because like They can do things, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, life could be a lot of fun once you figure women out, but it takes some time if you're not naturally like, you know, if you don't naturally understand the way women communicate, which they are poor communicators if you define good communication as simple, concise, and straightforward. Women are not that. Which that's my contrarian take on it, but I am right. I am right about this. And so if you're someone who is that, then it's hard to understand why women communicate the way they do until you realize like, oh, women communicate the way they do is because they're communicating with other women typically. And they all have this like, it's a, this weird evolutionary strategy for not offending, but then also like communal building and whatever. Men were just like, if I don't like you, I don't like you. And I'm gonna tell it to your face. And I don't care. But women are like, I can't just say that. Why not? You don't like her. Didn't she just screw you over out of this, whatever? Isn't she talking shit about you to these other people? It's like, yeah, but I can't tell her that. It's like, what are you talking about? Of course you can tell her that. And we men don't get it, but this is how they communicate. It is what it is. Oh, Kirko, that's the guy. This is the guy I try to hook up. Yo, I got a ban for that. I don't know if you remember a couple weeks ago. Um, Wait, let me catch up with comments here. My wife dated a black guy, but she said it was too boo. I don't know what that means. He speaks from perception and thinks it's easy for white guys in 2023. Oh, well, I don't know about the experience of being a white guy dating. You're benefiting from charity work. Think about it. No, no. I look okay. So here's the problem. You think I date white girls like exclusively? I don't. I date mostly black girls. So, like, when I read your comment, I was coming from the point of like, yeah, you don't have to be alone in 2023. You can hang out with girls. Kirko, you know that interaction we had with that girl or whatever. That I hope I'm looking for some updates, by the way. But that got me banned off of live for a week. They said I was it was harassment. Yeah, I got banned for that. The things I do for my homeboys, I lose access. I hope it worked out. Is your lady white? No, she's black. Not like African. No, it wasn't even you. It was my decision. I was just like, but I just, it was my decision. It's okay. Uh, just give me a few hearts here, and we'll be even. My lady is not white. She's black, and black, like black, black. Even though, yo, I swear to God, I don't know what it is. What is it? What gives people the impression that I only date white women? Man, it's like, oh yeah, white women are just dating men, black men out of charity. I think they're dating. I think a lot of white women do. I think a certain percentage of white women date black men out of novelty. It's like, ooh, the whole like, that is what's the word? Whatever it is, like the way white men and Asian women kind of thing. But it is what it is. I mean, like, guys, are we going to complain about making it easier? I don't know. I don't think guys would ever complain about that. Women do complain for some whatever reason. Would you consider an intimate and very personal relationship with a man? Negative. Negative, Jeff. That's a negatory. Bad news, bro. She got a boyfriend. What the fuck? Why she? Ah, man. Okay. Well, okay. That's unfortunate, but that's fine. Yeah, maybe, you know what? Should I do? Oh man, I don't know. I really don't want to do the dating show, but it would be hella lit because I would have so much fun with it. And then we'll see. Jeff is looking. Jeff is certainly looking. I can respect a guy shooting his shot, so I'm not going to give him any shit about that. Like, it is what it is. Yeah, it's like I don't know. Even when a girl shoots her shot, I'm just like, I respect that. It's not a easy thing to do. I'm a firm believer that the way you get them is the way you lose them. So I didn't bother. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend getting involved with a girl who's in a relationship. Same way I wouldn't recommend a girl get involved with a guy who's in a relationship. But I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. But I don't know. People have all these weird like excuses or rationalizations behind why it's okay. But how do you decline people kindly? What do you mean? So like if someone comes on, sometimes you can indulge them. I think for women you have to be more careful because they have a hard time accepting rejection. Women, like even like here, Jeff, I was just honest with them, whatever, it's all good. But and there's no beef, nothing. He's not gonna, like, guys don't take it that personally because we get so much practice getting rejected, I think. Or maybe we're just built differently or whatever. But women, they don't take rejection well at all, dude. It's crazy. Like you kind of have to be careful because they can, it's almost like a self-worth kind of thing for a lot of women. Like, oh my God, this guy turned to set, this guy wasn't feeling me. There's got to be something. Either it's hard, it's very, very hard rationalization for them to accept that he's just not into you, I think. And then it does do like a sort of like self-confidence thing, I think, even more so on women. And so, you just got to be careful a little bit because then they can get vengeful sometimes and situations can happen, or they'll start accusing you of things, or, they'll start throwing insults sometimes like, oh, you must be blah, blah, blah. If you're not feeling me, I'm just like, it's immaturity, but I mean, yes, women can be immature too, but people pretend like they're not. So I'm not tripping, bro. I appreciate the alley oop though. Yeah, for sure. If any of you guys need alley oops here, I got you. No worries. All right. Like I'm trying to flip the tables here. It's just like, I don't know. I see some of these dating shows on TikTok. I'm just like, they're awful. They're awful. Like a man is approaching subtlety, not overt, but very persistent. Yeah. I see. Here's the thing. I guess for women, I can't say what the experience is like for women. I'm sure there are men who are just too pushy. And yeah, those can be, I think, scary situations for a lot of women because, the physical inferiority stuff. I've definitely been called gay for not wanting to flirt with a girl. Yep, that happens. That happens a lot. Like he's working up the courage over time. How to stop it. Oh, so are you speaking in your situation? Like, let me see. How do you decline people kindly? I think the kindest way to let someone down is just to be honest. Just be honest. Like, I think it's more cruel to give them hope or even be subtle and not. I think it's more cruel to not be direct with them because they have a inkling of hope, and that hope is just effort that they will continue to push. And so, just you have to be clear. And I know that's going to be hard for some people to accept too, but it's just like you're just going to be straight up with them. And it's compassion, I think, on your part to be that way. It's a tough thing, but it's also compassion, which is why, like, because it's tough, people generally just choose to ghost. And I'm not a fan of it, but I mean, I can't expect much from people either. How's it going, Shattered Babe? Hi, Maya, but Besto. How's it going? Hello. I'm definitely directly mean when I reject a dude. Unnecessarily mean? That's, I don't, why? Why don't you just like, see, that's the part. When you have options, it's easy to be that way. When you have options. But like if you were on his end, of like I think if it's easy to be mean when you can't put yourself in their shoes. That's like if a girl came up to me and started coming on strong or whatever, and I'm just not feeling it, I'd just be like, I can be honest with her, but I'm not going to be mean just because, But then, of course, women can sometimes be mean. No, I'm not blind. It's just the lights are really bright here, and so I put these shades on. It's how I get good lighting, man. It's how I get good lighting. I'm not blind. Do I look blind? It's time to grind. Always, I guess. It's always time to grind. I don't know. But yeah. What's on your mind, guys? I have a list of topics that I posted this week as videos, but sports. What do you mean sports question mark? Like, do I watch sports or are you down for whatever? Yeah. Yeah. Here's the thing. I know the relationship relationship stuff does well, but it kind of gets boring really quickly. But I think women prefer that type of conversation. So if we're trying to hook you up again, Kirko, we can do something here. Like, yeah, what kind of lady are you looking for? I think you're in the central time zone, so we can find someone. And I don't know, whatever. This doesn't have to be a hookup thing. Uh, Go Ravens, Orioles. That's baseball, right? And football. That Talk to Me movie is so cringe. Talk to Me. What's that? Talk to Me. Is it cringe? Looks like a horror movie. Talk to Me. I'm not sure which movie that is. My hometown, Baltimore. Okay. Yeah. I don't watch the typical sports people watch. Like even with this whole messy thing, it's kind of weird seeing the announcers talk about this guy like he's like Jesus. I will not go see None Part Two. I don't know. I don't. Women seem to like a lot of. I don't know. Every time I've had conversations with women, it's like they like horror or fear-based media, and I don't get it. Or like they like Criminal Minds or like crime dramas or whatever. What's up with that? Ladies, if you can answer that. Since we sharing, I got my first job offer at 19. Congratulations. What's the job? And you got a picture of the Hispanic Spider-Man. Nice. Do you speak other languages? Been learning Spanish, so it's scary as fuck. Who pays to get scared? Women do. Women pay to get scared. I like Jersey Shore. Yep, my mate. Yep, my man. Great. Another fake tough guy. The light is bright. Okay. I'm not a fake tough guy. I'm a real tough guy. No. No, I'm a nerd. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Mike Hunt. You just see, you profiled me, man. You profiled me. That's kind of fucked up, dude. That's very fucked up. Software dev at Amazon. Nice at 19. Good for you, man. Front end. What product are you working on? We can talk a little software. We have Kirko here too. He's in school for software too. Women are like FBI agents. We like to investigate people. You know, I think you're onto something here, Nana. Yes, you guys like stories focused around people, right? That makes sense. But why is it criminal stuff? Like I do like the stories of these like weird contrarians, or I guess criminal contrarians, but it's interesting, yes, sir. Especially our daughter's boyfriends. Uh, hey, Lady G, how's it going? How old am I? I'm 33. Mike's name is Bart Simpson prank call name. Mike's name is a Bart Simpson prank. Oh, is it? Oh, Mike Hunt. Oh, got it. That's funny. I didn't say it fast enough. Got it. I don't like criminal stuff. I like Jersey Shore, reggaeton, and twerking. You like twerking, or do you like watching people twerk? That's interesting because I'm pretty sure this profile picture is. Oh, okay. I thought it was a hijab. Never mind. You're good. That'd have been weird. It's like, why is this Muslim girl like twerking? No, I actually twerk. Guys, check. Do you post it on your page? Do you want to plug real quick right now? If you guys want to watch some twerking, check out Saturn Babe, I guess. You know what's funny? I'm not an ass guy. I'm not an ass guy. I know I'm black, but I'm not. Guys, put it in the chat. Are you A or T? Are you an A? Are you an A guy or a T guy? Put it in the chat. And then ladies, also, you guys can put it in the chat. Are you an A or a T person? I don't know. Or whatever the equivalent would be. Whatever. But yeah, throw her some follows, guys. Let's get her over 50. My daughters are 30, 32, 30-year-old is single and beautiful. Oh, cool. Maryland, USA, married 32 years to BFF, Mama 2, Nana to 4. Wow. Okay. Good for you. Good for you. Do you have any advice for the women in the chat as far as like being able to have multi-decade marriage, kids, and grandkids? I guess your butt is your best feature. Congratulations. Yeah. I don't know. I can't be the judge of it, but you're an ass guy. See, I don't understand that. I don't know. We had this conversation on the podcast, me and my siblings, but yeah, I'm not an ass guy. She needs a good man. Okay, stick with your man. So like, okay, yeah, that's good advice. Are you Black American? You seem black from somewhere else. Yeah. My parents are from East Africa, so I'm not like I don't have that historical stuff in my family, but good and bad times. Been married 19 since 19 years old. Wow. Wow. Okay. I definitely will. She says, we have 4 grandkids. Good for you. See, that's great. That's a woman who's won, guys. That's a woman who's won. I knew it, bro. Yeah. Did you see my comment? Sometimes if it's edgy comment, they ban it or they don't show it. So no, I read all comments, but I don't see anything here. I know in my photo I look like Malibu Barbie. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, one is Cuban and Puerto Rican. I was gonna say Sudanese. Uh, Habesha. So East Eritrea is where my parents are from. I'm not really blonde. Okay. Did you do it for the Barbie movie? We raised two grandkids. Snapchat filter. Okay. What's the oldest milk of magnesia you've done knocked? That's a good question. That's a good question, Jose. Man, I think she was a little older than me. Um, maybe 35, I think. 35. Yeah. Uh, you do look like a Barbie doll. Yeah. Have you seen the film Hereditary? No, I haven't. Let me look it up. Hereditary. You know, it'd be cool to like look things up with you guys, but there's this thing called copyright where you can't use other people's shit. No, I haven't seen that movie, but definitely a dark poster for sure. Hereditary. You're 53. Okay. Oh, that's funny. EA card revoked. That's not how Sudanese. I don't know. I don't know. Sudani. Is that how you say it? I don't even care, dude. And how old were you? I think I was 30, something like that. I don't know. She was cool. She was really cool. Um, Tip for you fellas: older ladies generally have their own places, so that's always nice. That's always nice. Younger ladies don't generally have a good living situation. You seem like a great guy. Thanks. Scary movies make me cringe so bad. I'm 32. I'm gonna be a naughty cop for Halloween. Okay, Kirko. I don't know how you feel. All right, give your stats in the chat. I got a boy here in the chat who might be interested. Um, he says he is an ass guy, so we got a match going on here. And he's a dope dude. He surfs. He's good with computers, but he, yeah, he's a pretty. He can figure pretty much anything out, and all the ladies want him. So, what advice would you give to a 21-year-old girl? Says, yeah. Good evening. Rear naked choke. How's it going? Older women usually have less trauma and get attached way less, also. That is also true. Yeah. Like things weirdly are simpler in some ways. Um, so I do appreciate them. They know the game, or they're burnt by the game, or they just realize, damn, let me just enjoy this, whatever. And it's weird because it's like even if you know the situation and you know it's a steady thing, okay? It's not like you guys are getting serious or anything. It's just you guys are enjoying each other's company, if you know what I mean. And it's like, all right, yeah, go ahead. she'll continue to try to find love or whatever. And it's just weird. Like some of the older guys that, she dated or she dates. And I'm just like, some guys just do not have game, bro. And it's kind of sad sometimes. Some of the things I would hear them say, how honest women are when you can be honest with older women. Yeah. And you can even have, like, at least the women I've been involved with have, I can have deeper discussions with them, which is always nice. Which you can't really do. Young girls really aren't interested in deep shit typically. Usually not well read or anything, and it's just like it can get really boring. It's just like, oh, you guys just go out all the time. Just, hey, let's go party on Friday. Like older women are just like, how about we just watch Netflix and talk, and then we can have fun later. And it's like, yeah, that sounds great. I don't care to get drunk around people and alcohol and all that stuff. I don't know why. See, I don't know. I don't have to make any general assumptions, but I've never been that kind of guy. I used to be so scared of people liking me when I was younger that I would hide who I am. Now I don't give a fuck. Yeah, good for you, Ozzy Bear. Good for you. Yeah, it takes age, and the wisdom that comes with age to stop giving a shit what people think and to really start being yourself. No disrespect, though. I just know what the age gap leads to. What do you mean? I'm not saying you got to like turn it into a relationship or anything, but even just hanging out, like friends. This is the thing. This is my rule. Like, if you're gonna be friends with girls, then at least have some benefits there. Like, that's my rule. There has to be benefits. If you're a single guy, especially, like, what are you doing? If you're spending time with a girl who you don't have benefits with, and she's a friend, then that's time you're not spending with a girl who you could have benefits with. And I know this isn't going to make sense to a lot of you ladies, but like, it's work. It's work. So, like, guys, if you're going to be investing in these girls, then at least get something out of it. I don't know. If you're a single guy, for sure. So that's what I'm about. But no, I agree. Relationships are work. Yeah, relationships definitely are work for sure. And man, it's a grind. It's a grind. That's the thing. Like, I make this point all the time. And I don't know if women understand, like, when a guy gets into a relationship, he's taking on more work. This is not an easier path for him. It's harder. Like, when a guy decides to get married, have a family, this is harder. He's taking on responsibility and he's making a commitment. And also, if fidelity and monogamy is involved in the whole thing, he is going to fight his biology, and he's making a commitment to do that. And it's just like, yeah, it's not a walk in the park. It's actually harder work. Marriage is the hard, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. And yeah, I know women are gonna be like, oh, but it's the same thing for women. It's like, all right, stop doing the whataboutism. Okay. We each have our different struggles through this. I'm just explaining. That's it. Facts though, like, why at my age would I want to settle down? Yeah, exactly. Rationally speaking, if you look at it from a purely biological and evolutionary standpoint, like, no, it's not in the self-interest of a man to do these things. But he does it because he's rising above his animal desires. That's the whole thing, like religion and stuff like that is trying to preach. Like, we are more than just our flesh, you know? And I wish Pyro was here. Pyro would be able to break this down real quick. He's a 16-year-old guy who's pretty knowledgeable about all this, like, at least Christianity and stuff like that. It would be great to have him on. I hope he joins. But yeah, that's the whole point. It's like we're rising above our biology. And when he makes a commitment, that's what he's committing to. Like, it would be nice if he had some support, but, women don't really get it. They just see it from their perspective. So it is what it is. Whatever. So it's a tough situation. And so, like, I don't know. It's hard mode. That's what I think some people say, that relationships for men is being with women in relationships is hard mode. It is. It's a lot easier to be in a relationship with, or to be involved with women when you're not in a relationship with them. because the factors work in your favor as a dude. Because it's like, okay, like you have options, you know, you're not locked in. And so like even just the competition that plays out because maybe you're talking to a few, it is work, by the way, it is work. So it comes at a cost of like your time, but the competition aspect makes it easier to date because it turns out women aren't as, I guess, naggy might be the word. No, there's got to be another word to describe, like, they're just not much of a headache. Guys realize that women aren't much of a headache when you're just dating, and then when you make it more serious, you're taking on more work, and then also locking yourself into this sort of situation. So it's a complicated thing. And here's the funny thing: women don't even realize this is what happens, but you know, if you've been around enough women and been involved with enough, you start noticing these patterns. It's just like, oh, okay, yeah, all right. And then it's just like, okay, whatever. I'm not planning on marriage until I'm like close to 30. I'm open to having a serious girlfriend. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's advice a lot of people would give to you. Don't even think about it until you're in your 30, until you're at least 30. Because like, here's the thing, it's not about like experiences you'll miss. You know what? I did hear somebody say, weirdly enough, that, you know, like the reason why you shouldn't, part of the reason why you shouldn't is because like she's going to have a lot of experience. And if you don't have at least comparable experience out there, if you know what I mean, I'm using experience as a euphemism, then there will be a bit of resentment that a guy might have for not enjoying his youth, as they say. It's like, wait, this whole time you were just like, it's like, oh no, but that was the younger me, blah, blah. It's like, and then it's easy to rationalize and say, all right, guys, you shouldn't be resentful about whatever her past experiences were, whatever. And, you know, people try to make that logical connection or whatever, but he's resentful because he didn't have that experience, because for him, it didn't come easy. You know, it's like, imagine a rich kid telling a poor kid who finally became rich, like, I don't know if that's a good analogy, but basically that's sort of the scenario. It's just like, wait, so you're not checking your privilege. You know, you're just really going to be like, yeah, you shouldn't, you know, worry about like all these fun things you didn't get to do when you were younger. Yes, I was born into a richer family and I had more opportunity, but you shouldn't be mad that I had that in my past. I'm with you now. It's just like, what? It's just like, what the fuck? It's like, whatever. And so I can see a lot of, that's why guys, when they say body count shit, that's what they're talking about. It's like, it's not really about the number. It's about, they didn't have the bodies that she has. At least they didn't get to have the experiences that she had, because for them, it didn't just fall on their lap, you know? I'll only be a 24-year-old bachelor in a major city making good money once. I can't be locked down for real. Yeah. And then also the incentives problem. Yeah. When you're in a situation like that, like the situation is just so good, especially like if you're working in software or whatever, and you're making the money, whatever, I'd say save as much of it as you can. But yeah, I guess have your fun. I'm not going to tell you what to do either. See, so a lot of people, like religious people, will tell you like, you know, don't do the blah, 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 whatever. It's like, all right, they're projecting their morality on you. At least the content I've been making, at least the way I cut it up, and what I'm saying is based on whatever you might believe, just not even what you believe, but what I know to be true, and you decide how you want to live. It might not be necessarily the way I live, like the whole lie on your resume thing. I don't lie on my resume, but I'm telling you, you will get jobs from it. And for other people, if your morality, your personal values don't restrict you from doing things like that, then there's a lane there for you. But if it does, then you can't. So I'm just trying to be at least truthful in what is true, and then you decide how to live your life. From Bread Ward. Oh yeah, we aren't mad rich folk have more opportunities. We're mad at their lack of awareness. Yeah, and this is true everywhere. Like, bro, I heard you can sing. From whom? Mr. Hopeful. The government plans to create a future green computer over the next 9 years. Search FGC 9. I'm not sure what that is, but I will. I like writing these things down just in case I'm going to look it up later. FGC Ooh, nice. Okay. You trying to get this thing banned? Come on, dude. It's a pew pew. That's what it is. Um, they always underestimate the struggles of life and how we have to crawl until our fingers bleed. Yeah, and this is true for a lot of people who've known privilege their entire life, which is, I think, the trap a lot of women find themselves in, without even realizing it. And so it's like when they talk, sometimes you're just like, "What the fuck?" You have no clue, and you're speaking as if this isn't an issue. It's like because it's not an issue for them. It really isn't, and it's not something they've ever experienced in their fucking life, ever. Like talk to a girl who they don't know that we all get a letter when we're 18 telling us to sign up for selective service. Otherwise, we're not going to qualify for funds for college, Pell Grants and fucking FAFSA and all that bullshit. They don't know that shit. Even small things like that, they don't know unless, I'm going to ask my sister. I'm going to ask my sister if she knows that. But yeah, there's all these things. Just like they don't even know. Oh yeah, and selected service is a draft because they wouldn't know that, right? But you guys know that. But it is what it is. That's not a good joke. Yeah, it's not a joke. Ask the rebels in Myanmar. Okay, I meant telling us what something is and it being something else. I don't know if that was a troll to get it. I mean, I'm all for 2A, all that. So try not to get this stream banned. Okay, I'm your ally here. I'm your ally. I even posted a video about like the whole Trump mugshot thing without giving my opinions on it, but it's kind of hilarious actually because I'm gonna enjoy the drama and reality TV show of this entire fiasco. Yeah, same 2A all the way. Yeah, for sure. And I hate that we have to use like all these, pseudonyms and like code words. But what I was thinking? Like the ghost ones are pretty interesting. And I am formerly an engineer. So I think it'd be cool if we can make a very, very affordable version of a ghost one and almost essentially give it away for free. And the beauty of the Commerce Clause of the US Constitution is that if you're not exchanging it for money, turns out you could basically do whatever you want. So that would be interesting. That would be an interesting idea. But I don't know. I can't believe it's not a psyop. Oh, that's a perfect name, bro. Yo, I know you got some ideas about the world for sure. You should make content just based on your username. I'm sure you would make some really interesting content for sure. I can't believe it's not a psyop. That's perfect. It's all a psyop, isn't it? It's all a psyop. Everything we're surrounded by. LMI, how's it going? Man, it's crazy. You know what's funny? I look like this clean cut, straight laced guy. Without the shades on, I look like a nerd, whatever. And I'm cool with it. I like the title because I like a cool one. But like I think the things I believe and know would be contrary to like a lot of the presumptions people would make about me. People would be like, "No, you just look like some normal ass dude, whatever." It's like, nope, I am not. My ideas, my thoughts are probably crazier than most people, but I look normal. And so that's the scary thing I think for a lot of people. I don't know if it's scary. It's going to be scary for the powers that be, but it is what it is. I'm a software engineer. Nice. Wow. It seems like this stream attracts a lot of software people. I was talking to one last week on Twitch. Kirko here. He's not on anymore, but he's a software engineering student. And yeah, it's interesting. Okay. What kind of software do you build? The anti-narc. How's it going? And if you have anything on your mind, feel free, put it in the chat. Usually these lives are sort of like a conversational style podcast where we talk about anything and everything, and I just read the comments. I make native Android and iOS apps. How do you feel about progressive web apps? I've been thinking like my theory is the future will be just web apps. And I do software too now, but like the idea of learning, which of course there will always be more support for native apps, but I think if maybe the future of technology is all just like web based. I've dabbled with 2D games and robotics too. Nice, nice. Yeah, I've been trying to get my Raspberry Pi here to work with Bluetooth. The Bluetooth hasn't been working. I'm like, what the fuck? I have this project idea that I think would be useful. It depends on the app. A lot of apps can be web apps. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. And so I'm like, why? I don't know. Just in terms of like managing a code base and making updates and using web technologies so you don't have to worry about different platforms and devices and stuff like that. And considering like most devices are connected these days, it just seems like a no-brainer to me. But that's what I prefer. I prefer web technologies, but that's just me. Yeah. So. What's on your mind though? Hey everyone. I love your hair. Do you have diabetes? No, I do not have diabetes. This is the microphone. It's how you're hearing me right now. Oh, yeah, man. I normally like hiding the microphone too, but I don't have like whatever. I'm ANCAP. I don't know what that means. Oh, anarcho-capitalism. Let's see. That seeks to abolish centralized states in favor of stateless societies with systems of private property enforced by private agencies, the non-aggression principle, free markets, and self-ownership, which extends the concept to include control of private property as part of the self. I can fuck with that. I can fuck with that for sure. Are you sure you don't have it? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, the non-aggression principle. Do you listen to Stefan Molyneux? It's like one of his like, go-to words or terms. I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah, I fuck with that energy for sure. Oh, never heard of him. Okay. Yeah, I feel it. Here's the thing. I'm about like let's not have the government save us. We can save ourselves, even from these private corporations. And that's the thing. That's like they just need to get out of the way, and I think people will figure it out. We'll figure it out for ourselves. And but you know that requires a bit of agency and belief in our ability to do those things. This is an interesting flag, though. Symbol for anarchism is black and capitalism gold, which according to okay. Do you think I can write a 5-page double-spaced paper in 8 hours? Yup. All you got to do is use ChatGPT, and it'll write your essay for you. And you could be very descriptive too, and it will write it all out. And then if you need it longer or shorter or brief, or you need to make adjustments, you can do that. I know you're probably joking, but why not? Tyrone. Chicken Cheeks. Interesting usernames, man. All right, so yeah, I think maybe this is the term I've been just haven't been exposed to before. That probably aligns with a lot of the things. Anti-status, yep. Libertarian, sure. Political philosophy and economic theory. Abolish centralized states, yeah. I've noticed like big organizations have a tendency to be corrupted, or at least do corrupt. George Hotz, yes, the Comma AI guy. Yeah, I like him. I like him. Wants AI to be decentralized. Very cool guy. Yep. Yeah, Comma AI is cool. Thoughts on religion? I've been becoming more religious, at least Christian, but I don't know if it's consistent with this. I mean, all right, so let's see political philosophy, economic theory, centralized states, and stateless societies. I don't know how that's contrary to Christianity. I mean, I guess if you think of at least the Christian religion in the past where it's been trying to impose itself on others, then that would be a no-no. But on the other hand, at least the Christian teachings that I've been exposing myself to don't really push that. So there are definitely Christian anarcho-capitalists. Yeah, that's probably like the thing I like about Christianity, because I used to be Muslim. I used to be Muslim, and then I started exploring Christianity, and part of it is the individualism that you can find in Christianity that isn't really found in Islam. But that's my thing. But I'm still on this journey, so I probably couldn't give it any justice speaking about it. But that's interesting. That's kind of cool. Yeah, like the Amish sound pretty cool. I like people who live life on their own terms, and they don't need people to save them or help them or do anything. They just want to be left alone, and they can just live their lives as they want. Um, Not that I want to be Amish or anything, but I'm definitely gonna look into this for sure, though. Hey Ty, how's it going? How's it going, everyone? I wonder if I'm just doing a test right now to see how the reception will look. If Anonymous, how's it going? Were you here before? I feel like you've been here before. The username looks familiar, but I don't know. Like we have a few regulars that show up on the live, but yeah. Cool. Yes. All right. So my memory isn't as bad as I thought. How are you doing? What's the topic for today? Well, we were just talking about anarcho-capitalism, but I think ANCAP, and so that's interesting. Prax Ben. Okay, let's see. Let me write that down. Prax. Yeah, because you know, like I've been to a couple churches here and there, and some of them are just like how's that? Jeff Berwick. He did that documentary on that. Okay. Omar, hey, how's it going? Haven't seen you in a minute, bro. Jeff Berwick. Cool. Writing stuff down. What's everyone doing? What do you guys want to talk about? Actually, let me give it to you guys. Normally, I don't like doing this because I feel like me being in front of the camera, it's my responsibility to be the entertainment for you guys. But I did. I woke up at 3:30 today, so I'm running on fumes here, so I might need a little help. Deacon Matthews? Who's Deacon Matthews? That's a new one. I've gotten Boris Kojo. I've gotten like all these other Deacon Matthews. What do I look like? What? I don't see that one. These guys in the anarchy and the libertarian movement rip each other off. No, aren't they like sort of aligned? You are Deacon Matthews. Okay. Sovereign citizen movement is interesting, but it's like, yeah, the sovereign citizen. I don't know. I respect them for even trying. Just like, no, you have no authority over me, blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing, the kind of energy I sort of have is like, I want to build my own house on my own land with my own power, my own water supply, my own everything. I don't need y'all. Like, and I think people can build communities that way too, which would be cool, especially with technology and stuff now, Starlink, all that. You can get internet in remote places and all that. So it's just like, whatever that is, I fuck with that. You look like a deacon, and it looks like your last name is Matthews. So I put this. Oh, okay. I have nothing to preach though. Deacons preach, right? Member an office in Christian churches that is generally associated with service of some kind. Yeah, I guess I'm preaching. I got it from Praxpen or other libertarians, 100%. Yeah, exactly. Like, here's the thing. I have this idea. Hopefully one day I get to a point where I can actually have influence on entire markets. But I think it would be cool to like crash the housing market by dramatically reducing the cost of construction of housing. I think that would be pretty cool. It's like, you don't need the government to save you. You just need to build the technology to be able to construct these things at a very, very affordable level. So much so, like 10 times. Like, what if a $200,000 house construction you can get to $20,000? I'm talking like tenfold kind of. That would break the housing market. A lot of people would be underwater on their loans because you can increase supply. But then a lot of this is state getting in the way of, like, zoning laws and restrictions and stuff like that. That would be cool. Yeah, see, that would be cool. Shit like that. I have some ideas about, like, fucking with these social platforms too. Like, I'm working, like, I have this Raspberry Pi. I just got a Nano Pi R4S. Basically, it's just a tiny computer, but I want to put I have this idea for ad blocking across the network, on any device on a network. Similar to how, like, corporate networks do this. Like, when you plug your computer into your office or at work in your cubicle, there's certain websites that you can't go to, or certain things that get filtered and stuff. But imagine you brought that same tech to the home. And then what if the things that you blocked, the things that you filtered, were ads? And then now you're fucking with these platforms and their money and their wallets. And I think that'd be pretty cool. It's a big undertaking, but I'm experimenting with that idea. Yeah, I've tried Pi-hole, but the problem is the encryption, HTTPS. You can't see the internet traffic. Pi-hole is interesting, but it's a DNS blocker, which is useful for a lot of ads that are served from different domains. But the thing is, like with YouTube, they serve their ads from the same domain, and so you can't tell the difference. And so if you block, it doesn't work. YouTube ads don't work with Pi-hole, which is why you usually pair it with the ad blocker on your computer or something. Get a VPN proxy server, use secret browsers. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like something like that. And so I actually looked into this, and obviously, like, if you know a little bit about how browsers work and stuff, there's obviously encryption and stuff like that you have to manage and deal with. And so the encryption part is the thing that makes it difficult. Like, when it was just HTTP, like, you would be able to see all the traffic on the network, and then you'd be like, all right, pick out the ads out of the YouTube video and then just let the rest go. But because of encryption, you can't tell the difference between the packets you can't tell what's inside the packet. And so that's why you can do it in a browser. In a browser, the browser can see the unencrypted traffic. And so I was looking into certificates and all that, and certificate authorities and all this whatever. I'm like, all right, so then I'm going to have to like figure all that out, but it would be an interesting project. But I'm going to write this down. And then I like the idea that it's network wide and local. So it's decentralized. That's the thing I like about it. Because if it's one company with one IP address, then, or like a VPN proxy, whatever, remote, then that can be blocked. That can be, they can manage. But if it's a small device that you simply just plug in to your existing router, then the usability is there for users, and then it's also decentralized. So maybe all it is a connection to a public block list that you just constantly update, similar to how like uBlock Origin works. So many scanners in that space though. VPN laws via country changes, too much learning, too much mental torture. The stuff you pay for is annoying because there's too many bills. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I in order to make this to get into a lot of homes, it has to be, one, the box has to be affordable, and two, the updates have to be simple, and then three, the hosting costs have to be basically negligible, because you can't, whatever. If I was the NSA, first thing I would do is set up a VPN service. Yes, yo, that's probably what. Oh man, I bet you so many people are getting got by these honey traps. It's a shame. So many people pretend to be your friend when they're trying to jerk you. Yeah. I don't know. So I think that'd be cool. And the cool thing about blocking ads is it would hurt these platforms that like to censor people. And so basically you can cancel platforms the same way you can cancel people, And then so many other things you could do. So like maybe people who were suppressed on social media or whatever, you can actually give them reach. Now, this is where you are playing a heavy hand with all this power, you know? And then it gets me thinking like no one sort of Damocles, all that, whatever. No one man can have all that power, Kanye West and all that. It's like, okay, so power will corrupt you. And so that's the dangerous thing about something like this. But somehow we're able to pull something like this off with like these boxes that can block ads on any device that's connected to your home network. And you have the viral element built in too, because you could literally replace the ads with just the branding of the service. And so anyone who comes over, joins your network, they're gonna enjoy the experience too of not having ads on their device. And so it's like this viral elements built in, you know, the flywheel thing. So you can actually grow virally, which is a mistake I've made, not building things that that don't have some way of generating more users and market share. And so like there's a lot of advantages. Now you just got to build the tech and then build a box that's cheap enough, and then maybe turn it into some monthly subscription if you want updated block lists or updates. So that'd be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool. I have a bunch of ideas. Here's the thing: I have an abundance of ideas, but I lack a lot of the skills to be able to execute on those ideas. So my journey lately has just been trying to get those skills to be able to do that. In tech, there are a lot of street secrets you don't know. Yeah, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. Understand team. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool one day to find like a group of people who are on this sort of same type of mindset, who are just like, you know what, fuck all this. This is all broken. Or all this is corrupt. We need to change it. Let's break everything. And so like, the cool thing about the ad blocking in YouTube is like, all right, they do all this censorship. They're not fair with their terms of service and all that stuff. And it's like, okay, now people are like, oh, build another platform. If you have a problem with blah, blah, it's like, all right, do you know how hard it is? Network effects and everything with social. It's always a dumb recommendation that people give, like build your own things. Like it's not going to work because people are platform zealots. They like the platforms that they're on and they don't switch. So, which is why a service like Linktree is stupid. Because like if people are on TikTok and Instagram, they don't really fuck with anything else. People who love YouTube, and so there's usually one or two platforms people really fuck with, and they don't fuck with the other ones at all. And like Threads is going through this problem right now, like trying to get people to use a new app. It's like you got a bunch of signups, but look at the drop. People, their habits are hard to break, and they're also incredibly hard to create. And so, but the cool thing about like this ad block thing is you use their strength against them. So their advantage, like a platform like YouTube, is their reach and distribution and how big they are and the audiences that they have. But their weakness is the infrastructure required to support all that is expensive. And so they fund it with ads. So what if you can take the ads away? Now the strength that they have, their network effects, is now a huge liability. And so you're playing this game. I'm guessing you've read 0 to 1. Yep. I have. Peter Thiel, for sure. I fuck with them for real, for real. Or some people are like aliens. They create their own inventions. Yeah. My most recent thing I put effort is trying to use machine learning for introspection, like self-analysis. Interesting. So do you feed it with like a lot of your past work or something? Or do you just speak to it or something? That's interesting. I think a lot of people would be interested in something like that. A lot of talented people like to be around other talented people. Yeah. Here's the thing. I'm not talented though. I literally just hack shit together and then I move on. So it's like, I don't have the talent. I have the ideas, but like actually learning the skills, like now I'm fucking figuring out embedded systems. And then I'm only enough to finish this thing and then I move on. And so that's like, I'm not highly talented. I don't know. I guess it depends on how you define talented. Free things make people sign up. Yeah. So many people read books and they only learn a slither. Yeah. Right now I'm reading Shoe Dog, Phil Knight, Nike, and it's interesting, the story. Yeah, you could potentially hook it up to your Twitter or journal entries or whatever. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, that would be actually pretty cool. But yeah, that would be really interesting. I'm thinking of 2 versions. One would be passive, where you feed it and then it generates a report. Okay. So how does it? are you coming up with, are you giving the machine learning model any instructions or something? Like, I'm not too familiar about how this machine learning stuff works. Like, you feed it a bunch of information and then it does its matrix math or something, and then you get a bunch of weights, and then you're able to like, no, that's the AI stuff. What am I thinking of here? I don't know. You're getting gaslighted left and right, disinformation, misinformation, too much information. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, my rule has been everything's lying to you. Everything you're surrounded by is bullshit. So it's by default bullshit until proven otherwise. And I don't know. It surprises me how often people are willing to just like believe what they see, especially in social media. Social media is the worst of this. Like, yeah, obviously anything that's published online, at least these days, even on the top results when you search it on Google, it's probably going to be some form of bullshit. But I've learned to accept that people actually want the bullshit. They want the bullshit. And it's a hard thing to wrap my mind around. It took me a long time to accept that, but that's the natural conclusion once you realize like the way people behave and the things they choose to consume. And then when you show them contrary information that shows it's bullshit, like, yeah, it's like people want it. They want it, which is why they get more of it. And so you, me, us here, we're different. We're different. But the average person likes the bullshit. They like it. They like those pretty lies. And so it's just one of those things you got to accept, I think. Um, I'm thinking two versions. One would be passive, where you feed it and then it generates a report. The other would be interactive and will present you with ideas and gauge your response. Okay. You're getting guests. I've just started it, but it seems like there are already models for sentiment analysis. All right, cool. When it comes to text and video, yep, yeah, definitely use other in the work that's already out there. Okay, for I stop flexing. Flexing? What do you mean flexing? Am I flexing? I don't think I'm flexing, but I want to try to correlate emotions with ideas and maybe identify fallacies. Yeah, yeah, that would be interesting. A lot of silver in the beard for your age. It's not silver. I do have this one gray hair here, but this is just the shine from the light. Uh, that's what you're seeing here. So, can I call you Otis? I'm not sure why. Colin Sins. Interesting. No, it's just the light. Yeah, it's just the light. I try to get it bright because I'm also simultaneously streaming on YouTube and Twitch. Um, no action there right now, but sometimes we get some action there. Do you even lift? A little bit sometimes. I'm not lean. I'm not lean, but I'm a pretty big guy though. 6'3". You look like Otis. Your ego is super inflated. Has to be. It has to be. Whenever I see people with beards, I think of people who are always working, who have no life, working bums. Um, I don't know. I don't know if that's true. Like, if you're working on something that's important to you, that yeah, it's important to you. I think when you really find something that's your where it feels like play, all the other things don't matter, you know? And so that's obviously there's always things that are kind of bullshit that you have to deal with when you work, but I think I don't know if it has anything to do with beards though. Um, I'm just lazy when it comes to my grooming stuff. No, and plus, like I know, like I get really bad razor bumps if I shave my beard. I do shave my head, like every 2 3 days. Just leave the mustache and go for the Steve Harvey look. Nah, I'm not trying to get cut. Unkept beards. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay, that's what you meant. Yeah. Well, it's not that I just don't. I've never been a hair guy. Like I just, it's yeah. I'm just not a hair guy. Like, and even when I had hair on my head, I would always shave it off. So, um, and I know if I shave my beard, like I could trim it, and that would also help with this social media shit. I know it too, and I've been thinking about experimenting with it, just like prettifying this whole thing, whatever, trimming the beard, getting the line up, everything. Maybe do figure out the lighting situation so it's not so harsh. And I bet you I get more reception. I do notice a certain type of person who ends up liking these lives, but you kind of look like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Okay, that's a new one for me. You have a beard. You're half Colombian. I don't know about the new ones though. Some people advertise on their forehead for money. Is that true? Like, who are those white guys? Those white boys on? I think they stream on Kick, but they're like tatted up all over the face, and then people joke how they fillet each other. Mm. Paige, how's it going? Censored, how's it going? Island Boys, yes, those guys. This shit is so weird, man. I don't know any of this stuff, but I'm fascinated by this whole social media world because I'm in it, but I'm not really in it like that. And so, like, I'm watching all this drama that's happening. I'm like, what is? I don't get it, but I don't know. I can understand why people. I don't know. Fusi is entertaining, and I'd never liked him when he was a YouTuber, but goddamn, the guy is nothing but drama. He reminds me of 45 for sure. A guy who just grabs all the attention in the room. He's what do they say? Attention monster. Like wherever he is, he just it's crazy. It's crazy. This whole internet culture lore thing is so weird to me. But yeah, the Island Boys. It's weird. You need to just hook up with one elite techie and your world would change. What do you mean? What do you mean? I tried finding your live again. What do you mean? Finding my live again? Is that a picture of you shaving? I think it is. I'm glad you're still alive. Yeah. Kind of like being a WWE wrestler for 3 years. I'm not sure what you mean. You need to just hook up with one elite techie and your world. Oh, you mean like a Steve Jobs Wozniak situation? That would be great, dude. If I find a Wozniak, that'd be great. I don't mind doing the being the face, the because here's the thing: I have the temperament and for this kind of game because I honestly do not give a fuck what people think, and I'm pretty stubborn when it comes to what I think and my values. So when it comes to like, and then also the bigger mission, I don't really care about money like that either. So I won't be deterred by things like that, like the shallow shit. I can't be bought, is what I'm saying. So at least I don't think I can. Now, could you threaten someone close to me? Possibly, but then now I gotta dig deep and do some dark shit. But that would be interesting. Elite techies have unique fashion parties traveling the world with your laptop. Well, those are the white hat techies. Yeah, no, I need someone who like I don't know. I don't know. It'd be cool if I find like a Wozniak character. Like the people who have like pristine desk setups with like mood lighting and giant screens, or even the people who are like, ooh, I'm a digital nomad. It's like, okay. Like our problems are here. So let's fix those problems by rebelling against them. That's what I'm about that. Well, those are the white hats. There are gray hat techies and then black hats, yeah. I don't know, people who believe that maybe some anarcho-capitalist techie or something. I mean, I think I can figure things out to build MVPs, but when it comes to like finished products that need to scale, I don't have the skills. But I don't care to have the skills for that. It's just the ideas and building prototypes is where I think my strengths lie, and then the ideas, and then also the communication stuff. So at least being the face of it and taking the backlash that comes with some of the ideas I have, and standing 10 toes down. That's where I'm at. There are some techies that other techies know that the media doesn't. Yeah, for sure. Like, yeah, those are the people I like. Like, there's this weird like group of people I think that will emerge to become like the future of tech that no one's paying attention to, or at least people don't pay attention to them while they're busy just building. There are so many companies that you think are competitors when they're run by the same parent company. Yeah, dude. I'm tired of all this corruption that's out here, all the lying. That's the thing I can't stand. And it would be nice to just blow it all up. I'm sorry. I mean, just change things. You got to be careful the way you say things on these things because, like, they always take it out of context. I mean, like, disrupt is the word I was looking for, but I don't know if the algorithm can tell. Are those pure tax havens, territorial tax, non-dom? You're missing out. Get on this corruption train. We're making bank. I know you're making bank, bro. I know. That's the thing. Like, I see the corruption. I'm like, yo, do you know how easy it'd be for me to lie to people? You know how easy it'd be to just tell guys out here on these apps, like, fuck whatever, these women, blah, blah, blah. I could easily say that shit. So easy. And you know how easy it would be to grow doing that kind of stuff? Or tell people about like all these ways to make money and buy my course. It's just like, or like if I can make fan pages and steal other people's content because fuck copyright and and just grow an account, get it monetized and all this. It's like so easy. It's so easy. And I'm choosing not to do it because I have a personal belief like the way you make money matters. The way you make money will influence you. So be careful how you make it. Hey, Joshua, how's it going? Ah, stop it, bro. Stop it. I would normally be, yeah, see, you got to be careful with your language because these fucking platforms. This is why I think it'd be cool if we could cancel the platforms themselves. Like, they want to play these stupid games about, like, oh, you can't say this, you can't say that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right, fuck these people. Let's build something that fucks with their wallets a little bit, Ad block, network-wide ad block, and block all the ads on any social platform. One, that would be good for the people because maybe you can actually remedy some of this like mental health issues people go through by being on social media. Two, you can push different things to them. So like, TikTok, Twitch sometimes want to push a lot of thoughterly in your face. We can filter that out. And then three, give people control and then possibly even like clean up the internet a little bit, make it a more real place. That'd be interesting. I always wonder. What do you guys think of this idea? You build a wrapper for DuckDuckGo or some other search engine that looks like Google. It feels the same way, but you don't violate their branding or anything in any way. Because I think with something like that, it's not that Google is useful anymore. It's that it's what's familiar. It's what people know. So I'm thinking like small little changes in tech or small little things you can build that can change people's behavior in significant ways that don't require huge capital investment or effort. How's it going? 6'6", by the way. How's it going? Didn't Google copy DuckDuckGo? What do you mean copy? I'm not sure. Let me see. Google copy DuckDuckGo. No, it just feels different. Duck.com. For the longest time, Google actually owned the domain duck.com and refused to sell it to DuckDuckGo. This is the games they play. When asked 100 million, he said. When asked 100 million, he said he'll yes. LOL. Wait, what do you mean? I was pretty sure that the instant recommendation feature, along with a dozen others, were DuckDuckGo first. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, but they have scale, so it doesn't matter. Damn. I don't know. I guess ChatGPT and all that was supposed to change Google, or at least search. But you used to work at Google? All right, you used to work at Google. All right, give us. I don't know. Obviously don't violate any NDAs or whatever, but spill the beans, bro. What's it like there? Are people playing games? Are there conspiracy theories that can be confirmed or verified? Just like they copy Dropbox? Yeah. I mean, like, why buy them out when you can copy them? Yeah. Google used to be a very unique place to work for, and their cafeteria was awesome. Now Google hires anybody. Really? I don't know. Like, I like the tools that they build. I just hate the corruption. that comes with it. It's like, if you just built this, here's the thing, no one has a problem with them collecting, making endless amounts of money. Nobody has a problem with that at all. People have a problem with their influence on us, like deciding what we can and can't see, whatever, who you can associate with and can't associate with. That's what people have a problem with. Like, make as much money as you want. Just don't get in the way of our fucking culture and society. That's it. Let people live as they want. The engineers aren't as leftist as I thought they would be. Yeah, that makes sense. Like, remember that guy who used to work at Google who got canceled for writing that paper about gender or whatever stuff? Here's the thing, technical people can just be honest about the facts, which generally that means you're not going to be woke, because you can't be. The facts are undeniable. And so the engineers probably aren't, but everybody who surrounds the engineers, the support staff, the managers, the HR departments, all of them, those, yeah, Demore, that guy. Yeah. Who used to hire people with special type of intelligence. Yeah. Probably because they hire top engineers, which tend to be males. Yeah, Demore. Now people could work for other places where they get stock options for startups. Yeah, I'm surprised. Like, these smart people just need someone to like manage them, and they could build their own companies. Like, here's the thing: Google kills a bunch of their own projects, right? I had this idea where you could take those killed Google projects and spin them off into startups on their own that could each be $100 million products each themselves. Now, the problem with these ideas for Google was that they're not big enough compared to their money, their main thing, which are ads. And so anything that doesn't make even close to that is a waste of time, which is why they kill those projects. And then obviously, like, so you have this dilemma with like all these, and usually if a Google engineer or a team of engineers at Google work on a certain project, they're probably passionate about the thing, right? So you could easily just offer them and just be like, hey, if you come work with me, we'll take this killed Google project and turn it into a startup. And you guys already have the code. Google often open sources the work that they've done on these things that they end up killing. And so that's like now you just gotta like get the talent who already worked on it to work on it, give them a bunch of equity, then maybe do some fundraising just to get it off the ground, and then sell the shit, because people love it. Like Google domains, people love Google. I like Google domains, but of course they sold it to Squarespace, but whatever. It is what it is. Sup, dude. Hey, Jeremy. How's it going? Dang, you a whole soccer mom with that thermo cup. Yeah. It's hot here in Texas, bro. Fucking hot. They don't have enough knowledge about venture capitalists. Yeah, and that's the thing. You just need to pair them with someone who can operate a business, and they could just focus on the tech. So it's like this weird. All it is, you just need a jobs guy for those Wozniaks. So you have all these Wozniaks, but not enough jobs guys. And usually, like, the jobs guys are usually, it's like you need a certain type of personality for that. Not even that. You don't need someone who's like Steve Jobs. You just need someone who's a good operator and can let the tech guys do. And then what do you need? A hacker, hipster, hustler, right? So you have the Googles who are all the hackers. Then the hipster would have to be someone like who understands the industry or the space that this thing is useful for. And then the hustler is the money guy. And so you would need someone who can run the operations and the business and stuff like that. And then whatever. What? I just have water here. I just have water. Like right now I'm reading Shoe Dog, Phil Knight, and the story of Nike and how it started. And in this story, there's a bunch of different characters. And Phil himself isn't particularly, he started the whole idea of like starting a shoe company and whatever. But there were people he ran into who became pivotal parts of this business, who each, like, there was an operations guy, there was like this other guy and whatever. And there's this other person who brought this thing that whatever. And so he himself may not have been exceptional at any one thing, but he brought the vision together. And That's all they need. Used to really be passionate about tech. Seen documentaries from the get-go, like Free Kevin. Um, it's just tech became too much. Yeah, I'm in Plano, north of Dallas. It's pretty hot there too, huh? Too much learning and problem solving. Yeah, that's what I'm noticing. Like right now, I'm working some fucking on an Electron app, which is a simple one. It's just downloading audio from YouTube for people who like sample music and stuff like that, who make music and stuff. And obviously, you can use YouTube DL from the command line, but the average person isn't going to know how to install Node and use the command line or anything like that. So I was like, you know what if I wrap it in an Electron app and give it away for free? This is for my business account where I talk about software and content creation and stuff like that. And I was just going to give it away for free. And so like, this is the whole Alex Hormozy lead magnet kind of thing. So that's what I'm doing there. And I want to give these software tools away for free. And so I'm working through this Electron app. And so it works in dev, but when I build it, for some reason it's hard. It's having a hard time finding the FFmpeg binaries or whatever. And I'm just like, all right, what am I doing wrong here? And I got to understand all the structure bullshit. It's like every time you think you're like making progress, whatever. And then eventually I want to make a video version for this. So whatever. You feel like you have a bit of both Steve and Woz. That's a good combo. That's a good combo for sure. Yeah, it's interesting. So you used to work at Google. You're in software. You're probably in some sort of tech field. Joshua Coleman here on YouTube. I think, was it theoretical math? I don't know. We're a smart group of people. I might be the dumbest person here. I might be the dumbest person here, which is nice. It's nice. It's not a lot. It's a nice cohort we have here. It's a nice cohort. Like, I just learned things just enough to build an MVP and I'm done. I'm not going to be that person who like knows the intricacies of this programming language or whatever. I'm not that guy. Like, I'm a generalist in the truest sense. What's the saying? How's it go? Jack of all trades, master of none. That's me, dude. Like, I studied mechanical engineering, aerospace engineering. I got into business operations, and I learned enough software to be able to build apps that I find useful. But obviously, I make the mistake a lot of technical people do, is just build tools for myself without seeing if there's demand there. And so I build a lot of things that's useful for me, but not useful for anybody else. And so I'm trying to get out of that habit. I sat around doing nothing. Jobs and Woz. I sat around doing nothing. Then March 2020 came around. Okay. Rochester Institute of Technology. What, as a place I went to? I didn't go to Rochester. RIT. I did live in upstate New York for a bit, so I am familiar with RIT, but I didn't go there. I went to UC Irvine. Why'd you guess RIT though? The app sat around. Wait, what do you mean? The app sat around. It sat around doing nothing. Then March 2020 came around. Are you talking about TikTok or? I'm confused. I can't believe it's not a psyop because you said you went upstate New York. Yeah, I did move to upstate New York for my job out of college, but yeah. Who else do you think of in tech in upstate? Yeah. Yeah, there's not much other, right? Maybe there's a lot of Ivy Leagues around there. I don't know if they're tech, but yeah. I mean, I could have said Cornell. That's where the search engine Excite was created. Yeah. I mean, you can name any of those ones. Pretty sure my messages aren't going through. Maybe not. Like, I try to read all the comments and I'm maybe even missing something here. Like, sat around doing nothing. Then March 2020 came around. Yeah, I'm not sure. Party app? Oh, you built a party app? Is that what you're saying? What's the party app? What's it called? Damn. Good for you, dude. Like the timing was impeccable, bro. Like you timed that. I don't know. Did you purposely time it? A party app? Um, uh, or Binghamton was headquarters of IBM. Yeah, there's not. Oh, what about yeah? There's tech in upstate New York, but not a lot of schools. Tech. It's Watch Party app. Oh, is that the one Netflix? That's is that the one you're talking about? Watch Party. Let's see. No registration required. Oh, for YouTube. YouTube. YouTube Party. What you're talking about? Oh, you had to take it down. Oh, damn. What happened? Was it expensive to run it, or you didn't like the attention, or was it an APIs issue, or did Google get in the way? What happened? I'm fascinated. You successfully built YouTube emailed you. What did they say? What did they say? And then what tech stack did you use to build it? Um, they wanted to audit the app. Yeah, they always do. If you're going to use any of their APIs, like for my app, I had to get YouTube's approval to let other people use it. A lot of engineers have to create inventions to get the notice of people. Yeah. Um, but I thought that was standard practice for Google apps. Firestore, okay, or Firestore for the backend. Okay, Firebase is cool. That's what I use too. I use Firebase for my stuff. Um, but yours is definitely a better idea for social things. Firestore, okay, and then okay, and then Google's like, you have to approve it. Did you have to make any YouTube API calls for that? I don't think you. Oh, and it was iOS only. Oh, okay, interesting. Hmm. Join a affinity-based engineering group. I don't even know what that is. Affinity base. Affinity profiles. Base. Okay. Yeah, I had built it in Search. Plus, I played the video in my app. Ooh. Okay. Yeah, I had built in Search. Okay. Interesting. See, the app I'm putting together now uses to download media from YouTube. Like the reason why I chose to build it the way I did is because I don't want to have to deal with YouTube approval and Google's. It's just a pain in the ass. They gave me the most headache of all the. Here's the thing: I built an app, basically like Buffer, Hootsuite, whatever those social media posting apps to help me post my content across platforms. And yeah, maybe I didn't need to rebuild something that already exists, but I just didn't like how complicated all the other ones were, and I wanted something simple as a form and an upload button. So I did. So I got support for Instagram or Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and TikTok. And so I went through all their APIs. I went through all their developer portals, and I got through the approval process for the ones that required approval and all that stuff. And YouTube was the most pain in the ass one. Getting the Google APIs from that was a pain in the ass. It's like, oh, it's not following our branding guideline. It's like if I make that button red, it's gonna ruin the whole UI of this whole whatever. It's some bullshit, bro. Like at least if you're gonna make me go through some hoops, at least lube it up a little bit. Yeah, basically saying what your true interest is in. Okay, hire somebody from Bangalore to help you. Yeah, yeah. That's the thing. Like, I think I need to get to at least for a lot of the projects I've been working on. Um, I think it is useful to have a level of competence. So I know if I ask someone else or have someone else build it, I know what the hell they're talking about. Because software isn't my shit. Like I'm an engineer, a mechanical engineer by training. So like, but I know enough JavaScript. I know enough whatever um, to build this something working, and then do it. I had a friend who made a lot of money hiring Bangalore people, but got in trouble because he outsourced. That would be interesting. I think that'd be a funny. I'm thinking about like funny YouTube videos to make that are related to money, relationships, or health. So in this case, money. It'd be funny if it's like I got a software engineering job and then I hired the job out to people. Always remember tomorrow needs you. Agreed. Ginger Viking. Agreed. But people do that all the time. Here's my theory about jobs. It's like most jobs are bullshit. Most jobs are just pretend jobs. A lot of it's busy work. And so, yes, you can outsource it because it's bullshit work. Like the real work where you need the shit to perform and you need someone who knows what the hell they're doing to be able to do it. Yeah, those are real jobs. Like what do they call it? The power law. It's like, or the square root of people, the square root of the employees, the square root of the number of employees are the ones who produce 50% of the output. Like so, with the whole Elon taking over Twitter, firing whatever, and it still runs just fine. Like it's a good testament for how BS most jobs are. People do that all the time. You can't speak any Indian dialect, so you're at a disadvantage. My friend did Indian English geo arbitrage. Interesting. That's crazy. Problems with any others? Too many dialects. Huh. Okay. Yeah. That'd be funny. That'd be funny. An easy side hustle. Just get people overseas to write your code for you. And like, yeah, India. Or I always see these like YouTube tutorials whenever I'm working through some problem to understand like how some software package works or whatever. I'll sometimes YouTube it, and it's always some guy with a heavy accent discussing. So maybe I could just hit up one of those guys and be like, "Yo, can I throw you some rupees to build this for me?" And then I'll sell it. I'll worry about the marketing and stuff. I'll worry about building the email list. I'll worry about uh, um, the whole. Yeah, I can worry about all that stuff. Yeah, and that'll be cool. Maybe one day that'd be cool. But I don't know. It'll cost you, but it seems to me you might need to do triangular arbitrage. What's that? Triangular arbitrage. Triangular arbitrage is the result of a discrepancy between three foreign currencies that occurs when the currencies' exchange rates do not equally match up or exactly match up. These opportunities are rare, and traders who take advantage of them usually have advanced computer and or programs to automate the process. Huh. Involves three trades, exchanging the initial currency for a second, the second currency for a third, and the third currency for the initial. You could do that? That's crazy. How does that make sense? What? And then you just make what? Whoa. Is it act from price? Okay. But why does it have to be three-way? Um, why does it have to be three-way? That's the thing. Like, if there's an arbitrage opportunity between two currencies, I guess, does that mean you can make 6 different transactions, right? There's 6 different combination of pairs that you could do. Let's see, visual representation. See, this would be a cool thing to like discuss on. Yeah. Exchange pounds for dollars, exchange dollars for euros, exchange euros for pounds. And through each transaction, I don't know. Where's the other guy? Where the other guy speaks perfect English and perfect Indian dollar. I'm not sure what you mean, but this is interesting. I'm gonna have to read this up. Like last time, I think Kirko mentioned dark fiber, and I looked into that. Apparently, in the 90s and early 2000s, there was this boom of fiber optic companies laying down fiber because it's the future of the internet. And then multi-layered duplexing kind of increased the bandwidth of current fiber by like tenfold. So on top of the boom in the technology to be able to fit a lot more data through the same fiber, created this oversupply of fiber, which now people can take advantage of. This is how Google got into the whole Google Fiber game, by acquiring companies that failed when this whole excess fiber was laid. And it's all an interesting thing, but interesting. Last time triangle arbitrage speaking wise will take too long and it's annoying. Yeah, I don't know. But as far as software, yeah, like if I can hit up guys and be like, all right, I need you to build this app. I want you to use Firebase because that's what I'm familiar with. I want you to build the app using Next.js, and we need this number of client-side pages, and I want this stuff to be server-side. And then the database entries, I need it to look like this because we're going to be using it in this certain way. And so I can have that conversation with them and be like, give them like a complete detailed spec sheet of what this thing needs to be. Because I talked to customers and I built an MVP, a quick MVP or whatever. And so I think that's the pairing. So like when people say, oh, you can just hire people overseas to write your software or build your software, it's like, there's a level of knowledge you probably need to be able to have a conversation. Otherwise, you're going to get snowed and you can't tell. Like you could easily ask someone, it's like, okay, so how would you deal with authentication when you're using Google sign-in or Apple sign-in or something in a Next.js app? And be like, okay, well, I would, if they're like, if they can't answer the question, you'd be like, okay, so you don't really know your shit. It's like, because if you've ever done it, you'd be like, okay, I need to be able to have that authentication data across the app and easily accessible instead of having to. And so you probably have to use React contexts and stuff like that to do it. And you're like, okay, you probably know your shit. It's like, all right, what are the types of relationships you can have for databases? And or at least the data in these databases. So what kind of, and they can answer that question. Problem is you'll be meeting clowns to do that don't fully know yet, or you're giving away your idea for free. Here's the thing, ideas are plentiful, and here's the thing, no one cares about your idea as much as you do, especially when it's not making any money yet. Like no one cares about your idea. It's actually way more advantageous to share it to see if there's any interest, because if there is interest, like it's very rare that people who have the technical capability to build what you want to build will also have the desire that you have to see it as an opportunity worth pursuing. People can't see what you see. And so by sharing it, you're finding people who might have the same problem, who don't have the technical skills or the ability to build it themselves. Like someone made a stitch or a video on TikTok about how you can turn Google Forms into, you can make custom Google Forms by just taking the parameters, the field values in a Google form and putting it to some other HTML page that you host yourself. And I've done this before. And so I made a stitch of that video explaining like, look, if there's anyone else who actually wants this, because basically it was like, all right, you need a copy, you need to create this link, then you need to paste it in your notepad, then you need to take these URL parameters out, and these are the properties you need to copy and paste and put it in your HTML, whatever. And he's like, I can give you more tips, blah, blah, blah. But and I'm like, the average person doesn't care to know about any of this HTML, CSS form building shit. So I'm like, this could easily be a SaaS app. Now it would be a very, very like it's not a big opportunity as a SaaS app, but it's there. So I made a stitch. I'm like, if you guys want it, maybe I could build it. What's the demand look like? And someone in the comments did leave it. It's like, yo, I would totally pay for this. I'm like, okay, this is what you need. This is the information you need to hear. Like, is this a problem you guys actually have? Have a conversation. It's like, is this really a problem for you before you put all this effort? Because I've made that mistake, man. I made the mistake of working on things that without confirming that this is actually what people want. Although I do work on things because I would want them. So like with the whole YouTube media downloader thing, I'm starting with audio because it's simpler, but I like it for video. I like it for video. And I know people who might use it. Do you miss your hair? Nope, I don't. People like easy, hassle-free, intuitive. Yeah, exactly. So I also thought it would be interesting for a lot of, like, I don't have the technical capability to build like fully fledged, robust, scalable software, but I do have enough skill to be able to take open source packages and libraries and put it in a easier to use way for the masses. And that could be a whole lane in itself. And I'm exploring that right now. And I could just, like this one, I'm using YouTube DL and I'm using FFmpeg for this app to download off of YouTube. And it's an Electron app, so like it's a desktop app. So I don't have to worry about hosting costs or anything like that, which I think is the problem with a lot of these like media downloaders and stuff. It's like, no. And then also, if it's a media downloader, then static IPs could be blocked by these platforms and stuff. So you have the distribution thing, whatever. People like easy, hassle-free, intuitive. Yep. So many people waste their time. Oh, yeah. So I'm like, I watched that video. I'm like, people aren't going to do this. People haven't. One, they have to know what HTML is. They have to know what URL parameters are. They have to. And so they can follow the instructions, but they'll have no idea. And then it's like, okay, so you can put it in some HTML, but you have to host the site somewhere. Like, otherwise it's a useless form. So that doesn't make any sense. And so the idea is you can make a custom form and then the data from there will be sent to whatever Google form you created. So I like that from a usability standpoint, but for at least for the user, but like, where the fuck are they going to host this HTML? Where are they going to host it? So I was thinking like the easiest way is to use Google Sites, which I don't know if people know about it. You can build your own website through Google Sites, sites.google.com. It's there. People don't even know about it. This is the bullshit about Google. They make this stuff accessible. If you have a Google account, you have access to sites and you can make your own website and do that. So I was thinking like I could build something that could easily like take GeoCities. I don't know, but something as simple as like you create a Google form and you have templates that you can choose from that look better than the standard Google form. And then once you choose your template, then it automatically creates a Google site for you that has that form template and with the fields matching. And it's just a few button clicks. That's all it is. And then if you want to update it, you can change the version, the look of it, and then you can always add templates. And then this is where you can use like HTML templates that are out there. I think the guy who makes card.co, who runs card.co, he's the guy behind HTML5Up, and he has a lot of really good designs. And I'm pretty sure they're open comments, so we could use those as a basis for all this. We need a dedicated team. Yeah, yeah, that'd be great. It's like, guys, build this for me. Build this for me, please. Just build this. I'll worry about the marketing. And it's just like, yeah. What do they say about entrepreneurship? Like, your job is to get yourself out of jobs. Like, when you're starting off, you have to learn how to do everything. I think I just saw an Alex Hormozy video about this, but basically you start off learning everything you got to learn to be able to get the shit off the ground. And then from then on, it's about finding people to take on each responsibility and slowly putting yourself out of the business, because your job is to run the business, not to do the grunt work. Which sucks, because like if you enjoy the work, then you're getting yourself out of the thing that you enjoy. But that's the whole point. You're running a business. And so yes, I need a dedicated team. I have so many ideas, bro. So many ideas, and I just got to figure it out myself. One day, it'd be cool to have like a mercenary. No, mercenaries has a bad connotation. Maybe like special. What do they call them? A special unit. What do they call it? What's the military term for that? I don't know. I'm running on fumes right now, so I'm having a hard time coming up with things to say. But yeah, one of those elite strike teams who can just like, guys, there's a market here. Let's just build it as fast as we build a product in a week and push it. Special, yeah, an elite strike team who can just build hella quick and ship super fast because we all have specialties. Maybe this is our, and we stick with certain types of products. So they're all web apps. They're all web apps. So if we want it to work on mobile, we turn it into a progressive web app. If we want it on desktop, we convert it. We just build an Electron wrapper around it or something. And so with those constraints, that lets us specialize in this distributed nature of building. I think that'd be really cool. I think that'd be really cool. It's just like, we don't do iOS apps. We don't do Android. We don't do Mac. We don't do PC. We do web. Web is our thing. And we do it well. And we figure out a way to do it that way. Otherwise, we're not doing it. And so the constraints breed creativity. And then with the focus on distribution. So if we don't have to host it, we won't host it. If it doesn't have to be a SaaS, but could just be a one-time product, we'll make it that. Because everything wants to be a SaaS these days, you know? Everybody. It's like, oh, recurring revenue. Like with this thing I'm putting together, I'm going to give it away for free. I'm going to give it away for free. Because it's like, it's not something that you should be charging monthly for. Or like pushing ads in people's faces. The email list is too valuable. Forces, yeah. Special forces, yeah, exactly. Make an ad and interview people to extract information. Oh, yeah. What do you think about entrepreneurs who hire cheaper intellectual labor from abroad? I feel some type of way about it. I can see where they're coming from rationally, because it's like, it's so hard to find competent people in your own country for the wages you want to pay. That's the thing they leave out. For the wages they want to pay, yes, competent people cost more. They cost way more, especially in a developed country. Yes, you're gonna have to be paying $20-$30 an hour, $40 an hour even, just to get someone who is a self-starter, who doesn't need to have their hand held. Or even just, but like overseas people are so desperate and the currency works so much in your favor as an entrepreneur in a developed nation that it's like, oh, look. But here's the thing, to me, it's like running business with training wheels on, you know? It's just like, you're exploiting an arbitrage in people's living situation because they happen to be born in a different country, but they speak English, so you can use them. And I don't know. I'm not a fan of it, but I mean, it's legal, so I'm not going to tell people they can't do it. Plus, it's good for the people there. That's the hard. Here's the thing. That's the thing that's hard to like. That's why I'm conflicted about it, because at the same time, it's like, yeah, you can pay someone in the Philippines $5 an hour. That's below minimum wage in this country, but that's way above minimum wage over there. That $5 an hour there, they're living good. They're living good. And so, but my brother and his co-founder they do a non-emergency medical transportation thing, and they hired a dispatcher in the Philippines. And like, even something as small, like, they were basically doing the job from their bed essentially, because they didn't have a desk, they didn't have a chair, and they were having back problems or whatever. And so my brother's co-founder was like, wait, so how much is a chair? It's like, they're kind of expensive here, whatever, and it would cost too much. It would be like a large chunk of my monthly salary. So he just wired her the money to buy a chair for like 20 or like 30, $40 or something. And her productivity improved, whatever. Obviously, she's comfortable, so she can do whatever. And so it's just like, yes, their lives improved because of this. So it's good for the nation. It's good for the people there. But at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. Tech people use people all the time. They say in order to get a job, they make you source code. Tech people use people all the time. Yeah. They say in order to get a job, they make you source code. Problem for free. Problem is time. Yeah. Yeah. Like the gig economy and everything that like that is just exploiting people who are desperate, who are in desperate situations, who don't have any other options. Or maybe you start off in this like favorable situation for these people, and then giving them this hope that, hey, you're going to have all this, like with Uber. Yes, the money was really good in the beginning, but then as competition grew and more drivers got into the marketplace, they don't care if the wages go down. Why would they? It's like, we care about the customers giving us money. And so it's like, all right, so you're exploiting these people who originally thought it was one situation. You got it to work. You got them to price out these other alternative ways of making money while driving. And then finally, like once you had market share, then you can switch up on people. And that's the thing I hate about tech. They switch up on people all the time. They're two-faced. They only care about talent that they can't copy. Yeah, yeah. Like the guy, I don't know. I don't know if this is true, but the guy at Scale AI, what do they do? Um, is it Scale AI? I think basically they just use overseas. Basically, they're a company that cleans up machine learning data. So, like, when you're training an AI model or something or whatever, and you're feeding it all this information from the public domain or something, you need to clean it to make sure that the information is accurate and the inputs that you're giving it are correct. And so you can outsource. And so, like, if you need, like, you might use a human eye to identify if this is correct or not. Is this an apple? Is this a dog? Is this a thing in a picture or whatever? And I think he just used people overseas to do that. And that's how they're able to give such better rates for this kind of stuff. But if they can't copy your talent, you're needed. Yeah. Yeah. Like this is a good article about, someone wrote above and below the API. People who live above the API, giving the API who give the software directions, and then people who live below the API who take directions from software. So like Uber drivers are people who live below the API. The software is telling them what to do. The developers and the people who work at Uber are above the API. They're the ones who built the infrastructure. They're the ones who wrote the instructions. They're the ones who wrote the code that directs all the people below the API. And so there's this weird balance thing that's happening right now. And so if you're above the API, you're sort of protected. But then now with all the whole ChatGPT thing and everything, the people above the API are being replaced. The people above the API aren't necessarily needed as much anymore. And so this is the whole thing. And I thought it was an interesting frame of talking about APIs and stuff like that. Oh yeah, they had labor from abroad for the training. Yeah. Yeah. It's just like, they hide, I don't know. It's like we're surrounded by, I didn't know that at the time. When I first heard about them, I'm just like, oh, so you guys just do whatever. Down with the thickness. Hey, how's it going? How's it going? Yep. Yeah. How are you? How's everyone doing? I don't know if I got much more in me, but I think I could do another 15 minutes at least. True, pure above API won't be replaced. Yeah. Like if you make real novel things, then yeah, you can't be replaced. And so that's the thing. Like I heard someone say, like, if you want to protect yourself from this whole AI revolution is to be yourself, to be the things, to be human, the things that a computer can't do. And part of that is creativity. And thinking for yourself. That's the big thing, thinking for yourself, which is why a lot of people it's tempting to just depend on AI for a lot of things. But I'm like, you're going to hamper your ability to think. And that's the true novelty. That's where the innovation comes from. But I don't know. But here's the thing. I'm just some dude saying this shit online. I could be wrong, I guess, but it is what it is. It's true, pure above API won't be replaced. Yeah. Random question, but do you think men and women can be friends after a man's married? Ooh, interesting question. Interesting question. How about you guys put it in the chat while I give my opinions on this? So, random question. Do you think men and women can be friends after a man's married? So, to clarify, the woman being friends with a man who is married. Or do you think men can cheat and the wife can get concerned with the risk and expect her husband to, or do you think men can cheat and the wife can get concerned with the risk and expect her husband to set boundaries? Oh, so this is the woman? Wait, random question. Do you think men and women can be friends after a man's married? So I'm assuming just the way you frame the question is that can a married man be friends with a woman who isn't his wife? Or do you think men can cheat and the women can get concerned with the risk and expect her husband to set boundaries? So what's it going to take for a mustache ride? Okay, interesting. That's tough. Is it tough? I don't know if it's a tough question. I mean, like I have a thing about men and women can't be friends. So yeah, it's a pretty big. I don't know. Like it's usually women who say, like no, they're just friends. It's like okay, but like if you gave that dude an opening to you, he would take it. Okay, regardless of your marital status. Now, if you reversed it and a guy was friends with a girl who he's not married to and he has a wife and he's hanging out with this girl, it's like I don't know, the sexual guys don't just hang out with girls they're not attracted to, you know? So maybe this guy, I don't know. But I've never been, you know, in a situation like that. Yes, you don't have to think about sex all the time. Uh, do you people not have sister and mothers? It's not impossible to just talk to a woman or a man without having sex. Mustache rec. No, in the context, I'm assuming the context of this is in a friendship, like a platonic friendship with a woman who's not a relative. Of course, you can have, but I mean that's not the context of the question. At least typically when people ask these types of questions. Let me catch up with the comments here. Um, that's tough. Yes, you got it. What do you mean I got it? Oh, the question. After a marriage, I think so. Before one, I'm not sure. Okay. As Myron said, an attractive woman has an endowment of $1 million. What does that mean? An endowment? Like that's her value? And I'm not sure how that applies to this situation. Like, can a married man be friends with a woman who's not his wife? Why? Why is he hanging out with a woman who's not his wife? That's crazy to me. I don't know. Here's the thing. I don't really hang out with people like that, so maybe the context, at least as far as I know, but like, it's like, oh, they're just friends. It's like, all right, what's another situation? Okay, so if you're married and you are friends with another married couple, would you, as a husband of your wife, ever spend time alone with your friend's wife, who's your friend? Nah. What? Why? Just even the look of it is so bad. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but you just don't. Even just the I don't know, man. There's just lines. It's just like even just the look of it is just so repulsive to me that I wouldn't. Yes, a married man can be friends with a woman who is not his wife. I would not. Okay, Joshua. After marriage, before one. Uh, etiquette. I'm not sure what you mean though. Could you explain that one? As my I have so much to say about this, but I can't type all of it with limited characters. Oh, wait. So, if I recall correctly, although you have a profile picture that looks like a dude, you claim to be a woman, just to be clear. And are you saying this because you're in this situation? And who are you in this situation, if that's true? I'm curious. But like for me personally, I'm not friends with. women who aren't my wife. Why would I? For what? What am I getting out of it? Like, what reason? I can be friendly. I can be acquaintances. Like, yeah, you're friendly with people, whatever. But I'm not fucking hanging out, just like, ha ha ha, having a good time with a woman who's not my what? I don't know. It blows my mind that like sometimes women try to rationalize it, just like, oh no, they're just friends. It's like, okay, but even the look of it is really bad. Like, imagine the reverse. I'm just hanging out with a girl who's not my wife, and we have all these inside jokes, and we're cracking up and whatever. And my wife's not in that like whole vibe. It's like, why would I? She's your, he's your spouse. I don't know. This is usually only a problem if the person is cheating or spending a lot of time with this person and ignoring their partner. But that's the problem though, because like attention is a limited resource. Like women need attention, especially from the men that they're with. So it's a limited, finite resource. Why wouldn't you save it for the person who actually needs it that you decided to like be married to? That's a thing. Like women need attention. They need attention. So it's like, I don't know. That's how I see it, but whatever. Like, why would it be giving it to someone? And then plus, and the opportunity. That's the part, the temptation of like, hey, I get along with this other person. Anytime you have a problem with your spouse, and this is your friend, and you go to this friend for maybe comfort, some solace, whatever, and you guys are hanging out. You don't think that's temptation that you're inviting into your? I don't know, man. That blows my mind. Like, that's crazy. I can't imagine myself in a situation like that. If you see a movie, then go home. That's fine. If you're spending all day with this person, ignoring your wife, that's something else. Okay. Let me see here. As long as there is no emotional behavior, yes, they can be friends. But people are naturally emotional, though. That's the problem. People will get attached. You think people are friends that end up turning into affairs because they had a desire for it to go that way? Possibly. But just even having the temptation there is, I don't know, there's something about like not putting yourself in situations where that can happen. That's why like it's a red flag when a girl's like, oh no, I'm just going out with the girls to a club though. It's like, yeah, but we're just, going to dance. But it's a club though. That's where people go to meet people to fornicate with. That's the whole environment. And so it's usually a bad sign for a relationship that she does whatever. Um, well, the temptation is not really a thing. Okay. Yeah, I don't feel tempted. No, here's the thing. Like with men and women who don't have any relations with each other or aren't related to each other anyway, there's always an element of that. If you guys enjoy each other's company, like that's the thing. Like, what do they say? A lot of people, when you guys grow emotionally together and there's no reason sexually why that couldn't happen, then the invite's there. Not that the person who chooses not to live life that way has a temptation that they're fighting against. It's just that temptation will always be there. You can't predict how you're going to feel about somebody over time, especially when you're going, because relationships are harder, right? Relationships are harder. So if that's true, then the hardships that you go through your relationship are probably not going to be are going to be things that are far more serious than things you go through with this friend who you're not going through all this like difficulties with. And so just the contrast of seeing your wife, your spouse, and the difficulty that might come with being in a relationship sometimes versus all that you just have a good time with this person. You don't think people somehow get into a mindset of just like, maybe life would be better with just this person. Maybe I chose the wrong person. Like these things happen. And it's just like, no, it's just you're seeing the positives of one side because you only hang out with them when it's good. And then you see the pluses and minuses of the other one because you made a commitment to them. And so this is how people, I could imagine this is how people start cheating in relationships by putting themselves in situations like this and comparing two things while just seeing the positives of one situation and the realism of the other. And so like, I don't know. And why would you invite that in your life? It's the crazy thing. Yes, I'm the woman, but depends on what the subject of the conversations are. Obviously, don't want to be emotional with men. I don't know. You could be emotional here, I guess. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, but I'm not gonna pick on you for that stuff. Um, I understand how women are, and so you guys do tend to be emotional about stuff, but that's fine. Um, make a podcast episode on this and invite me on. Yo, actually, do you want to this coming week, Thursday? That'd be great. Just DM this account. DM this account. Just because I can't do it right now. And yeah, love to have you on. Usually, it's usually me, my brother, and then I guess you would be the guest, and I can invite another woman on if you would feel more comfortable, and we could have this whole. Doesn't have to be a debate. It could just be a, a hopefully fruitful discussion. But we can try that. I mean, but isn't that just called being stupid after high school? Everyone would know that. No, I think people can easily justify things to themselves. And that's the dangerous thing. You have to be careful that you're not lying to yourself about situations. It's like, oh no, this is just platonic. Yeah, okay. And then when things, it's like, oh, but we got close and, like what do people say? It just happened. What do you mean it just happened? You just happened to be in their car late at night and you guys were both a little tipsy from some of the drinks that you guys had from after a night of clubbing and kind of grinding on each other. It just happened. Whatever. You know. This might be a weird question, but I've always wanted to ask a bald dude if they shave their head every day or go to a barber. I shave my head every like 2 or 3 days. Shanti. Not much to it. Everyone has different boundaries in their relationship, I guess. All of my male friends have always been healthier friendships where they help me make rational decisions. I would like to be able to say that with women, but I haven't found that. It's more risky. What? So women don't really support other women like that? Hey, Kay, how's it going? That's not a natural bald? What? No. I mean, no. It is. Like I am balding up in the back here and definitely on the sides here, but there's hair that can grow, man. There's hair. I shaved today actually, which is why. What do you mean what? You sound like someone who has hair. Yes. Why is this blowing your mind? All right. I'm sorry you feel cheated, man. um, most of my colleagues are male and purely platonic, maybe because I'm more masculine. They're platonic because they're coworkers or colleagues, and that would be inappropriate for the workplace. Men know boundaries, okay? Like, why would any man worry or put themselves at risk for a Me Too situation, sacrifice their job, uh, their reputation, their source of income for a chance at somebody? That might be a thing for feminine men, though. I don't know. I thought you were bald. Well, I don't know. What do you mean? Like, yeah, I am bald. I'm bald. I've been balding since I was in my early 20s, but there's still hair that grows around, like on the back and stuff. It's weird how it always happens at the here. Whoever comes up with the solution for this whole balding situation, I am bald. Like it would look weird because it would just be a patch of no hair here. It's bald. I'm what 40% bald technically, I guess. I don't know. But ladies, what do you guys think? What are your thoughts on a guy having friends, being friends with a woman who's not his wife? That's crazy. This is common among both. I presume it would be. Yeah, there aren't men unless they're on chemotherapy or something. Their hair isn't just falling out and it's gone. They shave. That's why they have tools and everything. I don't know if you've ever seen on Instagram or whatever, but there's all these like tools for like shaving bald heads and stuff. The reason why they shave their head is because their head is partially bald and they're cutting the rest of it to match. It's the unevenness that makes it look weird. Of course, you probably have a luscious head of hair. That's why you're saying this shit. That might be a thing for feminine men, though. Go to bed, dude. TikTok Live isn't for children. Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I'm Central Time Zone. I'll text you some information, but yeah, it'd be dope to have you on. Usually we do audio only through Discord, so you're just going to need an account through Discord. And if anyone else is watching and you want to be on a podcast and you have something specific you want to talk about, like Joshua, if you want to talk about theoretical math, we can do that. We can get you on the pod. I will study up if I have to, and then we could talk about like whatever. And then also Kirka too. I think you have some interesting things to say. If those friends were there before her, then there's no arguing. Yeah, there still is. Not even arguing. It's just like, it's what it is. Like, uh, wait. So if you're friends, no, like you become a different person when you're married. Like the rules are different. I don't know why people think you could still have your single life when you're married. That's crazy. Even just making that statement, it sounds so illogical. But I don't know. Like, what, you're still gonna hang out? Like, even people change. Even people change as you grow. Like after you have kids, what happens? You lose ties with your single friends. It's not that you don't want to be friends with them anymore. It's just your priorities change. You know, you spend a lot of time in parks and like uh daycares, or you spend a lot of time with other children, people who have children because they're living a similar life. Like, why do people think you can have your single life? That's crazy. That's crazy. But I don't know. I'm not married, so I am engaged though. But like, I don't expect to live the single. I don't know. That's crazy to me. I don't know. People want to have their cake and eat it too. I think that's the problem. It's just like you're becoming a different person when you do those things. Awesome. Yeah. I think it also depends where you live because some cities encourage maintaining community. Mhm. I mean, I won't hang out with them all the time, but they're still friends. I don't know, you're still young, so, but as you get older, you realize like a lot of the people that you are friends with, you fall apart, not fall apart, you just drift apart because life takes you in different directions. You have different priorities as you grow older and you deal with the things that come with life, like the successes, the falls, the disappointments, all this stuff. And you realize you start looking for different things too as you grow older. Like like when you're younger, you can have more surface level friendships, but as you get older, what do they say? You're lucky to have 5 deep friendships by the time you're like in your old age. I'm never trusting another bald person again. Yeah, you shouldn't. We're all deceivers. But yeah, instead of adopting the nuclear family mentality, wait, let me read your. I think it also depends where you live because some cities encourage maintaining community instead of adopting the nuclear family mentality. So then, is it just you and your spouse? The end? Isolation? No, you find other people who are like you, who are living the type of life that you want, or at least you're living. That's what it is. Now, you can be friendly with people. Yeah, you guys can hang out. It's like, oh, this is our friends. Our friends. You're both friends. That's the thing. I'm not saying you can't have friends. I'm just saying like you are friends together. You guys hang out together. But like being alone, I don't know. If I would, do you know how weird I would feel if I hung out with my friend's wife just with him not being there? Like, no, what the fuck? No, I know you through him. Um, and I'm not gonna even like even I do this thing. I don't know. You guys, you tell me if you do this. Like, if I'm talking to um a friend's girl, like I don't really pay her no mind. Honestly, I'm just like, that's his girl, and yeah, it's just a thing. Like I'll be friendly. We can have conversation, whatever. But we're not gonna get chummy with each other. No, there's a fucking line you don't cross as a dude. It's just like that's your boy's girl. You don't. And some people, there are some motherfuckers out there who don't respect that, and I don't fuck with those guys at all. I'm just like, ugh. I even have a relative who's like that, and it's just like, you can't trust him around girls because he gets a little too fucking simpy. Um, but whatever. You guys know what I mean? Is this a new? Do you guys know what I'm talking about here? uh, that's also true. I didn't expect most friends to be around for a long time. Yeah, obviously not your friend's wife. Oh, that's awkward. Yeah, it's just it's I don't know. It just seems wrong. I don't try to get super friendly. Yeah, that's a line you just don't cross. It's just like, no, we're not going to even the perception of it is too much because you're respecting. At least this is a rule men have. I don't know how it is for women. Um, are you guys friendly with your girlfriend, with your friend's husband, or do you ever spend time alone with a friend's husband? Do you guys do that? I don't know. That'd be really weird. Um, you know who you really can't trust? People who can grow hair but go around bald. That used to be me when I did have hair. That was me. I had hair, but I didn't like maintaining it, so I shaved it off. That was my strategy always. Uh, I hate a world where men don't know how to be a friend to a woman. No. Here's the thing. I just based on that statement, you sound like you might be female, and the perception, or at least the implication here, is that like yeah. You know what? Before I make any judgments, please explain. Please explain. Would you want to be on Mass's farm if you could be? Okay. All right, Tyrone. Most girls don't care from what I've seen. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know, but girls know when like other women are being a little too friendly, if you know what I mean. So maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's why for yeah, whatever. I don't know. Women, I don't understand the dynamics of women sometimes. Or I understand it, it makes no sense to me. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. They're hyper vigilant. Yeah, I've noticed that. Like, even with strangers or like a waitress or something, like, why the fuck is she looking at you like that? It's like, what are you talking about? She's just a waiter. It's her job to be friendly. It's like, no, why'd she touch your arm? It's like, she touched my arm? It's just like, I don't know. Like, whatever. When it comes to other women, yeah. Like, women are terrible friends to other women, which is why they like having male friends because male friends are superior, obviously. Like, there's a reason why women want to be friends with men because, like, you get the attention, the male attention, which women, you can deny it, but it is something that does fill you in some sort of mental way. And then also you have the advantage of the strength, the safety, security that comes with just being in their presence. And then also men don't typically talk about their problems and are super emotional, so they're not feeding your neuroticism that other women seem to do when they talk about their problems and they spread that shit. So what men are bringing often is a sense of mental stability around your mental space. And so yes, men make pretty good friends because just by default we offer those things. And then also men tend to be in a more servant, have a more service role when they're around women. And it's a subtle thing sometimes, but you know, you guys know what I'm talking about. Women don't know. Maybe women know it, but definitely men know it. Like guys, as soon like guys could be hanging out, a group of friends, all guys, just chumming, whatever, having a good time. As soon as a girl comes in, it kind of changes the mood a little bit. And every guy knows this. Girls don't know this. It's like because anytime you've been in a situation like that, you've only known when the situation got weird. So you don't know what it was like without in your absence. So it changes. I remember growing up when with all my friends, whatever, we're hanging out, whatever, and as soon as a girl, like one of these girls, got around us, all the fucking guys got weird, except for me. And I'm just like, you fuckers. This was before the word. Um, uh, I don't know if I can even say it. All right, let me catch up with things here. Um, Girls don't let it happen because the guy will think they're flirting when they're really not. Male attention fills you. Yeah, it does. Yeah, quote me on that. Quote me on that. My dad had friends, and some women would hit on him, and while he's flattered, he's still committed to mom. Yeah, Are you dating or married? I'm engaged. We can also bring race into the conversation. Some people have a preference and the guys are just friends and don't fit that preference. Okay. Maybe women can easily say that. Women can easily say, we're just friends. And to them, they're right. They are just friends. But to him, you're not just friends. Even though he understands that's what you're communicating, there's a hope for a lot of guys who are hanging out with you, okay, regularly, who you've communicated, oh, we're just friends, we're just friends. They have a desire. A lot of men have a desire for more. This is an indirect way of like being around women. And if think about the dynamics of a relationship, like there are good times and there are bad times. There are rough patches. And in situations like that, do you think that friend is going to give you information or be supportive of your relationship, or will help give you reasons to end it? And that's the motive. You have to understand the motivations and incentives of people around you. And in the case of men who are friends with women, who women have made clear is we're just friends, but you can tell when she says that he gets a little twitch in his eye because he doesn't like the sound of that, who has a desire for more. Guess what? His motivations and incentives are contrary to the relationship itself. And that's what you've invited into your relationship. But of course, women want to just ignore it. Like they didn't just bring this negative thing in there. But whatever. You know, you could explain this, but it'll never make sense to women. It's fine. Male attention stuffs you until you can't breathe. That's funny. I like that. You're funny, Joshua. You're very funny. We can also bring friends and don't. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Stuck in that friend zone. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, guys, if you're stuck in a friend zone, the best remedy, you probably can't get out of it. So the best remedy is just to start giving your attention to another girl who actually wants more with you. And you'll find that girl that friend zoned you all of a sudden is like, oh, maybe I dismissed this thing too early, whatever. It's just like, oh, okay. So now I understand how you guys girls work. You guys are just jealous of each other and you're always in competition. And it turns out you guys are more friendly to me because I got other women involved, or I'm involved with other women. It's just like, all right. And so like when you get into a relationship as a dude, now you're playing it on hard mode because you don't have that full competition aspect that she experiences when you're just dating. And so what men are signing up for is a harder game, but it is what it is. But yeah, men are so funny. So it's her fault. He wants her and still wants to be friends. See, it has nothing to do with fault. It has nothing to do with fault. It has to do with people's motivations and what you're inviting into your relationship. Sabotage. That's the problem. It has nothing to do with him. It has nothing to do with him. There's no fault here. The responsibility of the people in the relationship is to preserve it. So that means him and her. So when you're inviting people who can sabotage it in your life, you have a responsibility. Either party, they have a responsibility to do that. But yeah, right? It's degrading. You guys are focused on the blame part and not focused on preserving a relationship. You guys have some more work to do. Sending you love and hugs today, my beautiful friend Montgomery, Alabama. Love you much. Thank you, Casey Lynn. What did they say about all the Lynn's? What's that from the movie Ted? Abby Lynn, Terry Lynn, Casey Lynn. I literally don't know if someone likes me or not unless they say it. Okay, that's fine. I don't know. Is that a problem? I mean, it would be nice if people were just honest and straightforward. I appreciate that form of communication, clarity and conciseness. But I think a lot of the communication these days, even encouraged by platforms like this, is to be subtext and code words and all that stuff. Yes, that is a problem. I literally don't know if someone likes me or not unless they say it. So if one of my friends likes me, I can't do anything about it. Just because you're oblivious to the people around you doesn't mean you don't have a responsibility to be aware of the dangers outside. You know, like, yes, you might not know this part of the city is dangerous, but you have a responsibility not to walk there, at least for your own self-preservation. I'm not going to say it's your fault when something bad happens to you, but it's just like, you didn't think to look up the safe places in this new city that you just went to? You know, or like, these are small things. It's like, who has the responsibility? It's not your fault that you were a victim, but it is your responsibility to at least attempt to avoid putting yourself in situations that will turn out negative for you. And so it's like, it's taking agency is what it's about. So we don't like Shakespeare because he states things in an obvious way. But soft, what light through yonder window breaks, for it's the east, and Juliet the sun. I'm not talking about art, bro. Like, if you don't decipher some social signals, then you aren't ready for a relationship. No. Like, we're not artists. We're not trying to communicate to people who communicate with each other in like fucking poetry, man. Like, in a relationship, deciding to live beyond your animalistic desires and build a life with someone is hard enough as it is. Why complicate it with prose or why complicate it with fucking beautiful, complicated, hard to interpret language? It makes no sense. But whatever. Let's see. Hey, these things don't line. I don't want to go to a dangerous neighborhood. I don't want to put myself in dangerous things. No, it's like you're going to a new city. Like, if you're visiting Chicago, there are certain parts you shouldn't visit, but you should probably look that up before you go. And it's just like, oh no, I just like exploring. It's just like, all right. You know, women have no problem being cautious when it comes to their physical safety. How about be cautious with your emotional and relationship safety? How about that? You guys don't even consider it. Like, the malicious actors that you're involving in your life. And I'm not blaming you. Again, to clarify, I'm not blaming you, but you have a responsibility to not invite negative energy in your own life. This is not a hard thing to agree with, but whatever. Oh, because it's not complicated. It's beauty. It's not beauty when you don't know what she's saying to you, because she can't be clear that it's not about the dishes. It's about something about what your mother-in-law said to her 2 weeks ago. That's not, you know. What city are you from again? Are there minorities, interracial relationships, third culture kids? I grew up in California, so it's pretty multicultural. I lived in upstate New York. I'm in Texas right now. Pretty heavy Hispanic, but I mean, Austin is pretty diverse, actually. Pretty diverse. So there's nothing wrong. I don't know why. Minorities, yeah, there are plenty of minorities here. At least on the weekends, 6th Street, people come here for interracial relationships. I mean, sure, those exist, I think, anywhere. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like, yeah, whatever. His mightiest and the mightiest, it becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. The dishes aren't the dishes. The dishes are everything, and everything is the dishes. Exactly. And you have the privilege to know and understand that unique way that only she knows. Yeah. Okay. I am glad you came up with that. I'm going to put that on the screen. I'm going to read that again. Tis mightiest in the mightiest. It becomes the throned monarch better than his crown. The dishes aren't the dishes. The dishes are everything, and everything is the dishes. Yeah. What did I just say? Yeah, no, not relationships. Come on, man. What are you doing? I don't know. Hey, God is good. How's it going? Okay. I think I'm gonna give it 6 more minutes. End it on an even 3 hours of streaming, at least on YouTube and Twitch. And then yeah, I'm gonna definitely check your DM down with the thickness. But yeah, let me know if you guys have any other relationship questions I can remedy here. Uh, that's the thing. I don't think I'm an expert on this shit, but some of this stuff seems so obvious to me. Um, and you have the first part of Shakespeare. Yeah, I figured the dishes are not the dishes. The dishes are everything, and everything is the dishes. Yeah. Maybe the best way to fight fire is with fire. So men got to learn how to communicate this way. And she'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" It's like, "I'm saying I want to go to the gym more, lady." Because I talk, I don't know. That'd be funny. And the funny thing is like somehow we men have been gaslit into thinking this is the proper way to communicate. This is what women say. You need to communicate. Communicate. Yeah, okay. You guys suck at communication, okay? You can't be clear and direct about your desires, what you're feeling. You don't even know how to describe your feelings sometimes. It's just like, and we men have somehow been gaslit into thinking we have to navigate this minefield. Fuck that. It's not a minefield. If it blows up, whatever, who cares? And when she figures out what she's thinking and feeling, she'll come to you, hopefully. And it is what it is. But like, if you can't be direct about the things that are, be direct. Like in any other context, this would be we would expect that in the workplace. Don't beat around the bush. Just say what the facts are. What are the stats here? How's the business performing? Here are the numbers. It's like going in a relationship. Oh, but you need to use a lot of, I don't know, this whole thing. And then, ladies, if he's quiet, he probably isn't thinking of anything. He's just at peace. So let him be. I don't know. Or he's working through it himself. So it's fine too. But communicate. Yeah. We men are getting gaslit all the time. And I think I'm the one lone contrarian out here being like, nope, that's wrong. Nope, that's wrong. That's not the way it is. You guys are wrong about that. That's totally bullshit right there. And then I look crazy until then, years later. Oh, this is what it is. Whatever. Okay. You guys got any closing remarks here? It's kind of late. What's the time? What time is it for you guys? Definitely want to eat some food before I go to bed. Yeah. 5 stars. How's it going? And then also I might start doing, I don't know, every week I always like to think about doing more lives, or at least maybe earlier in the day. 10:22. Okay, yeah, we're in the same time zone. It's for the record, I still disagree. Perfect. That will make for a great podcast episode. If you have like topics or like, I think that was a great question on your part to ask in this live. So if you have other things, typically the podcast is conversational style, and we don't typically have set topics. But in your case, it depends on the person who comes on. And so in your case, it'll be interesting to have you on, and we could talk about your theories on relationships or whatever, your experiences. And usually my brother comes on the pod too. So it's going to be at minimum 3 of us. And I might try to get another person on who might be able to support your side of this stuff. And then, yeah, it'll be a fun episode. I think it'll be a fun episode. And then anyone else, if you want to come on the pod, let me know. It's audio only, so you don't have to worry about showing your face or anything. You can stay anonymous. Or if you want some clout, I'll try to push some clout your way. Yeah. You think it would be funny? Yeah. I think it would just be interesting. Because yeah, I think it'll be interesting. All right. Down to the last 70 seconds. Any last remarks, guys? Don't forget to like and subscribe. Give the screen a few more taps. Give it a heart. Give it a thumbs up, whatever. Maybe we can find other like-minded people here who like this type of energy and content, and maybe build a community. If you work in tech, I'm recruiting for this strike team to quickly build disruptive SaaS apps. So taking applications. Otherwise, have a very good week. It is gonna be September soon by the end of the week. So what do they say? Something, don't wear white after Labor Day. I don't know. Whatever. But yeah. Everyone, have a good night. ACB, thanks for watching. Air, thanks for watching. You'll hear from me soon. Joshua, appreciate you with all your Shakespeare and poetry. I expect iambic pentameter next week, but it's okay. Take care. Yeah, and then I'll DM you for sure to get you on the pod. All right, guys. Have a good night. Bye. Bye. Let's end on both at the same time.